Oh, Diane! Welcome to Waifu Wars. We're gonna be. I'm here with Jenna and Enrique, and we're gonna actually be reviewing a new set, and it's Osomatsu-san.
AKA what I've been waiting for, my cryostasis chamber for 2 months or something. Yeah, 2 months.
So,
I can't believe you got this set.
Yep, we got this set. We have to appease the Fujoshi somehow.
Okay. Yeah, I can't believe that a well-loved series that's been around since the '60s got a set in Weiss Wars. Oh God, what a fucking pity. No one likes this, I guess.
Yep.
Well, it can't be worse than Rene.
Rene literally is current and
anyways,
the manga's pretty old for Rene, I think, but that's irrelevant. What matters is Osomatsu-san, aka Yellow Dot Deck.
Technically, it's the oldest anime set.
Technically, still a waifu set.
Yeah, but anyways, we'll get started. We're going to the trial deck cards. First, we have everyone. SHEEH! Matsuno Brothers. Sextuplets trait. 2k power, level 0, cost 0. 1 soul. All your other characters with Matsu in name gain 500 power. And when this is placed from hand to stage, if your opponent has an everyone SHEEH Matsuno Brothers, and all the players agree to, all players say SHEEH. If so, all players search his or her library for up to one character with Matsu name, reveal it, put it in his or her hand, and shuffle his or her library.
And you gotta do the pose, that's part of the rule.
Oh yeah, you have to do the pose. And then I have the picture for the viewers.
I would lose so many games because of that card.
So
yeah,
it's
you wouldn't be playing the card, so you wouldn't have to do it anyway, Enrique.
what the so it's
it.
pretty much a global 500, and then it's only good. You only play this in the mirror match, and that's pretty much it. So
it's literally a for fun card.
Yeah.
But it's cute. It's really cute. There's no Yami print though.
And even if you're playing the mirror match, your opponent has to agree to it.
Yeah, if they're just like a meanie pants, they'll just be like, I don't want to get shamed, you know. You don't have to. You just. I don't want you to search your deck because technically, whoever puts it down second gets the benefit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no! They
both players, yeah.
Yeah, so okay, then they're
It's
just a hard
balanced.
ass and they don't want to shay, so they fucking suck. Don't play with people like that.
But yeah, and the actual Brothers deck, you wouldn't play this though. I feel like.
Oh yeah, no, of course not.
Yeah, you would. Always.
Moving on to oldest son of Matsuno family, Osomatsu. 0, 0, 2500, sextuplets, and gamble trait. Pay 1, discard a card from your hand to the rating room. When it's placed from hand to stage, you may pay cost. If so, search your library for up to one character with Matsu name, reveal it, put it in your hand, and shuffle your library.
It's
standard
like one of those
searcher.
Standard
Yep.
pay 1, drop 1 cards. They're just better cards in the main set that you can run compared to this card. It's not bad though.
You see this type of profile in trial decks, so it's kind of expected, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that's like the best card of the trial deck, but even then, it's not that good.
There's some other
There's
other different unique cards I haven't seen from trial decks for like a trial deck. But I like how he has the gamble trait though, because he's like a gambler.
He's like the biggest pachinko out of all of them.
Yep. Next we're going to second son of Matsuno family, Karematsu, sextuplets and brow trait, 2500.
Weird.
0, 0. When it's placed from hand to stage, it gains 1500 power for the turn. So he becomes a 4k level 0 assassin the turn he's played.
Is that the one that's like really like what's it called? Oh. Wow, I'm really bad at this.
Yeah, you are.
Is it the one that loves himself and like thinks highly of himself?
I mean,
He thinks he's cool, but he's not.
He thinks that the girls want him. Yeah, so he's like the one everybody shits on all the time.
Oh, okay.
He's literally the butt of every joke. Like, he gets the worst treatment out of all of them. He's pretty bad. But I like him.
Next,
then there's a vanilla card.
Yep,
Let's get
Chodomatsu. He has the otaku trait, if that matters.
I freaking guessed that before he got leaked, too. Or, not leaked, but sneak peeked.
Next, we have Idiot with Common Sense, Chodomatsu, sextuplets, otaku trait, 3500, and this cannot side attack. 3500 level 0 beater.
Yeah, so, I mean, this is probably one of the better cards in the trial deck, like, because the main set doesn't have a... Actually, the main set does have a 3500 beater, but when we get to it, you're going to laugh, because it's so terrible. Like, I've never seen that bad of a drawback on something in my life.
Mm, but this is one of the, like, downside cards where it's not really a downside.
Yeah, it's not.
Next, we're going to Cool Idiot, Karematsu, sextuplets brow trait, 5k 10. If it's in the front row center slot, it gains 1k power.
So pretty much a 6k.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
it's pretty boring.
Not anything special, I would say.
I mean, it's just a trial deck, Enrique.
Yeah, I know.
Third son of Matsuno family, Chodomatsu, sextuplets otaku trait, 2-1 6k 1 soul. All your other characters of Matsu in name gain 1k power, and Restus, choose one of your characters of Matsu in name, and that character gets 1k power for their turn.
That card's not bad. But I mean, I think... Huh?
Oh, sorry, what were you going to say?
I said it's not bad, but I think that the 1/1 Ichimatsu level assist from the actual booster is better.
Way better, yeah. If anything, would you put one of this in the brothers deck? Like one or two?
I think that's a preference thing, because it's like you're either gonna want to run the level assist or you're gonna want to run this. I think.
I see.
It depends on if you're more green heavy or more red heavy, I guess. The brothers deck is something that takes a lot of preference, I think. Like, you have to really think about what you want to put in it. There are a lot of different things you can do with it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have to test a lot. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to run with that build yet. But it's definitely playable, I think, as like a one-of.
Next is a 2-1 Karumatsu, 8500, and it's just a vanilla.
And there's a couple of vanillas, like Let's Get a Job Osomatsu.
It's a 2-2 9k. And then we have Idiot of Miracles, Osomatsu, 3-2, sextuplets gamble, 10k, 2 soul. If you have two or more other characters of Matsu in the name, it gains 1k power. And when it's placed from hand and stage, you drop to 2 cards and discard a card from your hand to away move. So it's 11k that cantrips.
Yeah, it's pretty bad for a trial deck level 3, but it's a trial deck. What do you expect? The freaking Yami.
Honestly, I'd rather have it heal instead
same.
Instead of getting the 1k power or it would have to replace the cantrip ability, because I haven't seen a card that cantrips and heals.
Yeah, that would be a little strong, I think. But probably heal would be better than just draw 2, discard 1 on that card.
Mm-hmm.
But besides that, it's just a big body. That's about it.
Next, we're going to Chibita's Odin, 2-1 event counter. Choose one of your characters, and that character gains 3500 power for the turn.
So it's traitless, so you could just use it on anything. Which usually these types of backups are not traitless, but they're also level 1, so that card's kind of not good, but it's alright.
I think the level 1 backups events that are like these, they require you to be a certain trait though. But it wouldn't matter for those builds. Sure. It doesn't really matter though, because you're running those traits anyways.
Yeah, it's like since the card's green, if it was a yellow card, okay, but it's green, so it's you just rather run the Matsu cards.
Mm-hmm. I guess it's flavored since a lot of people like his food in the anime.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense actually. I didn't think about it that way.
Next is we have it Taking the World by Storm. It's a stock soul for green.
And it also comes in 6 variants with each brother, and then one with all of them. It's really interesting. There's a lot of multi-prints in this set.
Next we have is Idiot with Good Puppy Eyes, Todomatsu, sextuplets smartphone trait, and it's a 001k, and it has the standard 500 in front profile.
Yeah, pretty basic. The Osomatsu trial deck specifically, I think, is for very new players. Osomatsu kind of has this weird thing where it's they're trying to appeal to both new players and good players, I guess, with this stuff. But it kind of put it in a weird middle point. The trial deck's obviously not a huge reflection, but
usually
that's just something that they were talking about in a lot of the previous stuff.
Usually, trial decks, they hint at what the booster set's gonna be but I guess since the booster set and the trial deck was released on the same day, it doesn't really matter. Because before they used to do trial deck first, I think, right? And then they released the booster a week later or something.
I think it depended on the set.
Yeah. Next, anyways, we're going to fifth son of Matsuno family, Jishimatsu, my favorite, sextuplets and sport trait, 002k. When it attacks, choose one of your characters' Matsu in name, and that character gains 1500 power for a turn. So I think it's one of the better level zeros in the set, personally, I think.
Yeah, it's not bad. And in the trial deck, it's probably up there with the 3-5.
Yeah.
And the the bomb's kind of not the bomb, but the assassin card's kind of good as well. The Karamatsu.
And if we're just gonna say like in a limited setting, like if you're playing with this just trial deck, like this effect targets all your characters, from the trial deck alone. So I guess it makes it really good in that sense.
Yeah, I agree.
Next we're going to fourth son of Matsuno family, Ichimatsu, sextuplets animal trait. Pay 2. When this is placed from hand to stage, you may pay cost. If so, choose a character in your waiting move Matsu name and return it to your hand. So it's just a standard on play pay 2 salvage Matsu. Well,
yeah, in this deck, I feel like the pay 1 drop one is probably better to draw into. But I'm also assuming that there's less of it in the trial deck.
Next we're going to it just say 003K Jushimatsu. Next is Idiot of Darkness Ichimatsu, sextuplets animal trait, 105K, and it has Clock Encore. I've seen some trial decks with Clock Encore. I think introducing Clock Encore is pretty nice to like new players, so they at least understand what type of mechanic it is.
I agree with that. And there's not actually that many Clock Encore cards in this set.
Yeah. Next we have is Idiot of a Different Dimension, Jushimatsu, sextuplets sports trait, 105K. You have 2 or more other characters with Matsu in the name, it gains 1K power. So it's another 106K easy condition.
I do want to say something about this artwork though. It really looks weird to me. Like, it's creepy. Like, it doesn't look like Jushimatsu to me.
Well, maybe because his eyes are closed.
It looks like he's in a coma. It's so fucking weird.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. But the flavor text is, I guess, why do people not get it? So I guess I'm one of those people, but I just don't get it.
Next we have is Still Idiots Even After Growing Up, Matsuno Brothers, sextuplets trait, 105K, pay 1 when it attacks. If 6 faces 6 different personalities is in the climax zone, you may pay cost. If so, this gains 6K power for the turn. It combos with a gate, right?
I believe so, yeah. It's it's a gate. I'm like fairly certain, but I'll find out. That's also the card that comes as a foil in the front of the deck.
Yep. With the effect though.
Yeah, it's a gate. The effect is weak.
Yeah. It just serves a purpose of just killing something, that's it. Well, it's gonna be, with the gate, it's gonna be 12K, 10, essentially, if you pay 1. I guess it can last you through level 2, and maybe certain level 3s, but there's nothing, like, really worth, like, you don't plus or anything, so it's just, you're just paying 1 to kill something, essentially.
Well, you don't really pay anything, it's free, right?
No, when it attacks, you have to pay 1.
Oh, if it was free, it'd be decent for a trial deck card, but no, that's pretty bad.
Next it's just a foil version of the SR. And next is a 10-5500 vanilla Todomatsu.
Yeah, all of the Let's Get a Job cards are just vanillas. They're
I see.
pretty plain.
We got Ichimatsu, and then we have youngest son of Matsuno family, Todomatsu, 2-1. When your other character's Matsu in name attacks, this gains 1K power for your turn. So it's a 2-1 8K. So it's just those standard level 2 beaters when another person attacks.
Yeah, just a pretty bland
It's nice to
card.
have. And they included a +2 soul. The legend begins here.
Yeah, that's the card that comes in 6 prints.
I see.
Both of the climaxes in this trial deck can come as, like, different forms.
Yep. So the trial deck...
Which is pretty unique. This has, like I said, a lot of alternate arts in it.
For just going by the trial deck, for my small review of this trial deck, I think it has some decent level 0 utility, but other than that, like, the level 3 isn't that impressive, and like the level 1 game isn't that impressive either. If anything, like, you would get this trial deck just for like utility for your brother's deck, like if you want certain cards to be run.
Yeah, I mean it's just standard trial deck stuff. I mean, usually a trial deck will at most have like one good card that's
Yeah.
like playable, and usually it's the card that comes as like a one or two of.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely nothing special. But and the card that's quote unquote like the good card of the set, like or of that specific trial deck, the 1/1 or the one drop one, pay one drop one search card. Like even that card is kind of mediocre compared to some other stuff. So it's a trial deck where if you're not really like if you're trying to like see if there's something good that you need to get in the trial deck, like just pass on it unless you really want the sleeves, which I wanted, so that's why I got one. But it's I mean it's a good deal because you do get a full pack of sleeves and a full deck.
Yeah.
And you have the chance to pull a stamp, but I mean, it's up to preference for if the player wants to buy it or not.
Well, with that being said, we'll move on to the booster set. We're starting off with yellow. We have Polarized Shot Together Nya Hashimoto, 3/2 double art, 9500, 2 soul, music animal trait. If there are 2 or fewer climaxes in your rating room, this gets -1 level while in your hand. If all your characters are yellow, this gains 1k power. And when it's placed from hand to stage, look at up to X cards from top of your library. Choose up to one of them and put them in your hand. Put the rest into the rating room. And X is equals to the number of your yellow characters.
AKA scry, then get exactly what you need.
Well, yeah, the can. It's a dig cantrip. There's a refresh in the set, right?
Yeah, there's a free fresh for yellow.
This card is pretty decent. Like,
I mean, the only reason that you run it in the yellow deck is because of the scrying and because that'll help you set up for your Totokos. Like,
yeah, you need a
hopefully,
dig through.
if you flipping that many cards, you're gonna hit at least one Totoko climax with enough luck. So, if you don't already have one in your hand, but if not, then you can use it to get like either a second one of that and then a Totoko so that you can burn with both of them. But it's basically just set up, and it's because there's only so many level 3s you can run in yellow.
Is the Sorry.
Pretty good. What?
Is the free fresh a counter or is it just a character? Is it a character on play?
It's a
character.
It's a character, yeah.
Okay, so at least the free fresh is nice. So the early play is easier compared to other cards.
Yeah, it's well, I won't talk about it until we get to it, but it's pretty good. But I think this card's solid. It's just like it's like not like some super amazing early drop card that's like give 4k at the beginning of every turn.
Oh yeah, well that's a blue trait though. I mean, yellow. It could have had like the yellow like girlfriend beta like on your turn give someone 4k, but this is still a pretty solid card though. I like the cantrip ability.
Yeah. I think it's probably one of the stronger draw abilities. Especially since you don't have to discard anything from your hand.
And then the English flavor text is Osomatsu say 1,000 yen for a Polaroid picture. That's expensive.
And then he proceeds to say sex over and over again and make Nya-chan like freak out.
Say class. That's only $10 for a picture of a celebrity.
I guess to him that's expensive. I mean, he has to spend all his money on pachinko.
Yep. Anyways, we're going to the other double R for yellow. Super cute heroine. Totoko, 10k, 3/2, music fish trait, 2 soul. When it's placed from hand and stage, you heal 1. Discard a card from your hand to the rating room. When the battle opponent of this becomes reversed, if Totoko's dream is in your climax zone, you may pay cost. If so, choose up to 2 of your other characters and they gain the following ability. They get the Musashi ability. So in the climax that goes with it is a shot trigger.
Yeah, 1k, 1 shot.
Yep.
I think this card is really good. Some people think it's really good. Like, I feel like the overall opinion on this card is split down the middle. Like, either people really hate it or they think it's good.
There's nothing bad about this card.
I think it just needs to be tested. Like, it needs to be tested. I think as long as if it gets its reverse, it's fucking good. That's all you can really say.
There's nothing bad about this card. Like,
yeah, I don't think it's bad either. I think it's very good.
It heals, and then it has a pretty interesting climax combo. And like, there are things like sack counters, But then again, your opponent's like putting a lot of resources into preventing you from getting two Musashis on the field. The ability, but then the double Musashis is a really strong effect as well.
Yeah, but like every set doesn't have
The
a
sack
set
counter.
counter.
And then
Though that's a pretty recent thing that they've been giving sets, but I mean, some matchups just don't have it.
I've been thinking about this card, and like it gives the other characters Musashi ability, but your other characters are still vulnerable to like money counters or compasses. I'm assuming
Well-
there's no hexproof characters, right?
No,
For
there's
yellow?
no hexproof card in yellow, no.
So
I don't think that like that's a big problem though, because I mean, sure, if they want a money counter, one of them, there's still another one. It's not like just playing like. Well, I mean, like obviously you could say, oh, just playing a Musashi's easier than having to play this card, but I mean, you could stack it. So
yeah.
I don't know. I think it's good. Maybe I just look at the card and think it's really powerful without thinking the mechanics. I think the card needs to be tested in real gameplay to really have a real opinion on it, because I haven't gotten my cards yet to play it. So
I mean, in most scenarios, I can only see you putting down one of this card, because if you put two, the only person that's gonna get stacked is like the last person that's attacking. That will get the two Musashi abilities.
yeah, I mean, one of this card is enough, but then you're having one attack and then two Musashis. So I think that's still good.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, it's not a Yami. It's like an innovative Yami. I think Bushiroad's trying to be like creative.
it's a
with this
fair
effect,
card.
like-
It's a pretty fair card, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a little more fair than Yami, but that might be its weakness.
But I think looking at this set from like a whole standpoint, I think this is one of the better level 3s for the set.
Oh yeah, definitely. This probably I'd say this is the best level 3 in the set.
Next, we're going to battle for main cast Totoko 001K. It's a rare music fish trait. During your turn, all your other characters gain 500 power, and it's a pay 1, rest 2 of your characters. For each climax, you search for up to one yellow character and put it into your hand, and then you shuffle your library. Wait, so I thought it was all your other yellow characters gain 500 power. Is it just
I
all your
thought
other
that
characters?
as well.
Maybe it's all your other yellow characters. Because if it's all your other characters gain 500 power, that'd be really good for the brothers deck as well. Well, not really, because you were just searching for yellow. But
Yeah, I mean, you could. Well, I mean, I guess if you really wanted to splash Totoko in the brothers deck, this would be a
for
breakthrough.
flavor.
Let me. I'm gonna run it through Google Translate. I know it's super jank, but it'll at least tell me if there's color in it.
I'm pretty sure it's.
No, it just says during your turn to all your other character 500 power.
But either way, you run this in your yellow build, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yellow doesn't splash well enough in the brothers build, I don't think.
yeah.
This card alone isn't consistent enough to search for Totoko.
This is the same card that CG2 got. There's a yellow 0 that does the same, or it's all your other yellow characters gain 500 power for the turn.
I mean, I wish it was pay 1 rest itself instead of pay 1 tap 2, but I mean, they can't make every brainstormer pay 1 tap itself. It's a little strong.
And it's kind of weird how they decide what's going to be tap 2 or it's going to be tap itself, because I've seen some yellow cards or some green cards where it's just tap itself, but it's still like an assist. So I don't know how they decide with how like brainstorm requirements works for certain cards, I guess.
Yeah, I don't either. Maybe they just figured if yellow had way too much good shit, they just won all the time.
But overall, this is a solid card. I think you should run at least 3 copies of the Brainstorm or the Totoko Brainstorm.
Yeah, that's what I was going to be running, and my deck was 3.
Next, we're going to Fujio Akatsuka, Teacher Manga Trait, 001K, rare. When it attacks, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a yellow character, put it into your hand and discard a card from your hand to the waiting room. And when this attacks, choose one of your other characters, and that character gains X power for the turn. X is times soul of that character. So basically, it's a level 0 that every time it attacks, it hand fixes if you reveal a yellow character. And then it's
whoa! I didn't realize it was on attack. What?
Yeah.
When I first saw this card, I thought it was on play.
No. And
What?
then
Well, Jenna, you're bad.
and then it's a it's either going to be a 1K boost or a 2K boost to one of your other characters. So this is like Mami and Sayaka from Madoka because it's every time it attacks, you
Yeah.
you reveal the top card. So this is technically better than on play. On play
Yeah,
fanfiction.
most of the time it's gonna die.
It's gonna die
before you
regardless.
do it. I mean, yeah, but I mean, you still get one guaranteed, so it's equal to that, if anything. And if it survives the turn, then it's better.
Although I wish it for this case, since it has such a weak profile, I wish it was on play though, just in case if you do hit a climax, if you reveal a climax, you can just use the brainstorm right afterwards. If you can't hand fix.
Yeah, you're right.
But the second
I still think it's a good card.
yeah, the second effect is good because you can use this any time in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of your yellow characters are going to be really big on your turn regardless. But I guess this just re-emphasizes if you're afraid that your opponent's going to back up.
Yeah, I mean, if you have it can even kind of, if you really have it on field, like at level 1 with like 2 Nyachans, you could kind of attack with it first and try to actually get Nyachan to reverse something without killing herself.
Yeah.
I mean, Yellow's a little weak on power for like their level 1 in games and stuff. They kind of, I'm not gonna say anything until I really play through it, but I think this card is solid.
Yeah.
And I think it's nice that they gave the creator of the series a good card.
Next.
It's cute that he has a card in the set at all.
Yeah. Next, we're going to Jenna's
Here we go.
Husbando. Battle for main cast Iyami. It's a rare 00 1500, and it has, according to Heart of the Cards, it's Buck Teeth trait, but I'm pretty sure it's Overbite. It's supposed to be Overbite.
It's Deppa. That's like the Japanese word is Deppa, and it's an Overbite. It's not Buck Teeth, but I mean,
yeah.
I'll give them their little leeway.
Continuous. If you have 2 or more other yellow characters, this gains 2k power. And discard a yellow character from your hand to the waiting room. When this attacks, if Iyami's counterattack is in the climax zone, you may pay cost. If so, search your library for up to 1 yellow character. Reveal it, put it into your hand. Afterwards, shuffle your library, and this gains 1500 power for the turn.
Yeah, I'm pretty sad because for Iyami's climax combo, this is really not that good at all.
What is the climax a bounce trigger?
No, it's I believe it's 2 soul. Let me.
I'll check.
I'm gonna check. Oh my god.
No, it's a 2k one.
Yeah, I mean it's a 2 soul trigger is what I was saying.
Oh, I see. I speaking from like a yellow deck perspective, you wouldn't run the climax combo. Obviously, I feel like.
No, but you would run it in Chibita and Iyami Partners in Crime deck. Available only on the Weiss Wars deck build. You can check out. It's a wonderful deck build crafted by myself.
But anyways,
It's
I guess if
valuable.
you run this in your yellow deck, it would just be a 3500 level 0, if anything, because the first effect is pretty
run
easy.
it with the climax, and it's like if you want a 3500 level 0, then just play the Chibi Iyami from the promos.
Yeah.
I mean, you could just run this as well, but the Chibi Iyami's 35 all the time. I mean, have more characters.
Yeah, but then again, there's also other cards that you'd would rather run in your yellow build.
There's no room for beaters. It's all mostly utility based deck.
Yep.
But Iyami cute though, and he's in his beautiful race car Iyami the End, which can travel at 1,000 kilometers an hour. So.
Anyways, we're going to the girl Jushimatsu likes. It's a rare 1500 level 0. It has no traits. And it's pay 1, discard a card from your hand to the waiting room, send this to memory. When this becomes reversed in battle, you may pay cost to so search your library for up to 1 character of Yushimatsu in name, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your library.
This card is mostly for the brothers deck. It's basically useless in the yellow deck unless you want a 0-15 vanilla. But this card is like 100% flavor. I guess I don't want to spoil anything, but it is like all flavor, the climax combo this goes with. I can go more into depth with the Jushimatsu card, but for now it's is flavor.
There's
That's all I'm
there's an
saying.
Akatsuki for Bros deck, so technically you could grab this, right? Because it has the Matsu
That's
name.
why I freaked out the night I figured that out. Yeah, since it does have Jushimatsu in its name, you can grab it with your Brainstormer, your Akatsuki,
And your
anything in the
salvage
deck that
cards or
goes
your
for
search,
Matsu.
yeah.
You can search for it with anything. So I am going to try a Brothers build with the Jushimatsu combo, but it may still be a little too combo ombo-y, but I'll see.
So even though it's traitless, it's still at least you have some hope of like grabbing it.
Yeah, the thing is that the Matsuno deck doesn't even run on traits; it runs on Matsu itself. So basically, it counts as a brother.
Yeah. Next we're going to Girlfriend for Rent Chibimi. It's rare
This episode of Osomatsu-san.
2500 Odin trait. At the start of your opponent's attack phase, you may put the top card of your library in the waiting room. If it's a yellow character, you may move this to an empty slot in the front row. So it's an interesting runner, as in you have to mill a yellow character rather than like a specific name or trait or whatever. Well, you couldn't do this in the yellow build anyways because it's mostly side characters. Well, it's all side characters, right?
Yeah, the traits are all over the place in the yellow build, so that's why it runs
So
on just yellow.
it's good that it has the yellow character profile.
Yeah. It'll run like most of the time.
The only
Like,
downside to this card is that if you want to splash like the level 3 green, is it
it's Karamatsu.
Karamatsu, or like the event that we discussed from the trial deck or whatever, then it'll be this card will whiff. But for the most part, besides from like climaxes, you should generally be able to run. And even if you can't, like even just
you
the
get
mill
the mill
one.
regardless.
Yeah, the mill one is just nice regardless to have. But it's a pretty decent. It's a standard runner. Like there's really not much to say about this card.
Yeah, but she's cute though. But she's not. She's not EIO, but she's up there.
Next
I'm just glad that my favorite episode got 2 cards, so that's perfect.
Next we're going to Santa Outfit Totoko, 1/0 4500, and it's pretty much an Ellie clone but for yellow characters.
Yeah, so it's not playable in the Brothers deck, so don't try to put it in there.
But obviously for yellow, you'd run this, right? Because it's one.
Yeah.
It's one of your
For-
few. It's because from what I know, it's like the level ones, in general for like this set aren't as like strong in terms of power, right?
Yeah, there's no like extremely like strong level 1. Like there's good level 1s, but there's nothing like super good.
So this profile is always going to be just a playable card. So like if you can run it, then just run it.
Yeah.
Next we're going to everyone's idol Nya-chan. Oh, okay, this is the card. 1/0 4500 power, 1 soul music animal trait rare. When this attacks, if Nyan to Nyat is in the climax zone, and you have another yellow character, look at up to 4 cards from the top of your library and search for up to 1 yellow character. Reveal it, put it into your hand, and put the rest into your waiting room. So is the climax stock soul?
Yeah.
For yellow.
That's to trigger.
So pretty much what this card says, if you're breathing, then you get an Akatsuki. Well, you get a Manami effect. This is
Minami blue specific?
no Manami's music trait specific. It has to be you grab a music trait. But this
Well, I guess it's a Akatsuki effect technically, but yeah, it's like a Minami card.
yeah. Or also there's Maguro from Puyo Puyo, but Maguro says you have to have 4 more cards in your hand, and it's a stock soul as well. But this condition so far is like pretty much one of the easiest conditions ever, like so far as of today, I'd say. Because you're already going to be running yellow, so why do they print this type of effect? Like I don't
Might as well
understand.
just say when you attack.
Right.
No, because what if they only have 1 card in hand and they have to swing with just this being like, it's too good if we don't make it like that.
I guess, but you probably have a
I'm
yellow card in your
kidding.
back row. This card is literally like I'm gonna say it's like this. Well, it's a like the requirement is cancerous on top of it being already like a cancerous card. I think, in my
But
opinion.
it's never gonna reverse anything really. So.
Well, it doesn't matter because you're just gonna side attack anyways because it combos
You're
with a
right,
stock soul.
because you just get 1 hit anyway, and if you can actually kill it, you just go straight for the kill.
And you probably, well, it doesn't even matter if your opponent gets to level 1 or whatever, or if you get to level 1, because this type of effect, it doesn't care if you, it doesn't care like what the what your opponent has on the field.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It just wants to get what it needs.
That's why this card is so good, because it doesn't, like, it ignores, and the fact that like it just rewards the player, it's a plus. Like the Katsuki Manami effects in general, like it doesn't require much thinking. Like of course you're gonna have to decide what card you want to pick from it, but it like it's a very strong effect.
Yeah, and surprisingly enough, it's the foil of it is really fucking dirt cheap.
Yep.
Also, fun fact, has no flavor text because Yanchan doesn't fucking talk ever.
She just sings.
She doesn't talk like at all. She has like one line in one episode.
Boy Shorts Bushiroad does like this weird thing with like making like some of the good cards in the set or best cards in the set like like the most like characters with the least
I
lines.
don't get that. I would have rather had Ayami be this card.
Yeah, it makes sense since he's a main character and he has more connections to the side characters.
Yeah.
Next, we're going to 3/2 Iyami. It's a rare 8500 2 soul overbite trait. If you have 4 more yellow characters, it gets -1 level while in your hand. If you have 3 or more other yellow characters, it gains 1500 power in the following ability. It memory kicks. And when it's placed from hand to stage, you draw up to 1 card, and this card gains 2k power for the turn.
So on play, he's like a 12, correct?
Yes. Pretty much. Well, he's going to be 10k, pretty much. He's always going to...
Yeah, but on play, he gets 2,000, so
yeah.
He'd be at 12. But every turn up to that 10.
Mm-hmm. And he gets the memory kick trait.
This card is...
It's a nice ability to have. Like, it's just... It's a standard yellow effect. Like, it gains power for the turn. At least this card replaces itself. Because you drop to 1 card.
And I mean, I'm just disappointed we didn't get Yami. Oh well. Yami got like the short end of the stick in this set, honestly. Fucking, it's real. It's realistic. It's not fair.
It has... I like this card because it has like 2 similar effects from Girlfriend Beta Yellow. Where it has the effect where we have... If you're playing an all yellow deck or whatever, then it gets -1 level. And then it has the memory kick that is seen in Girlfriend Beta, but that Girlfriend Beta card also has the Musashi ability.
But you can give this card Musashi ability.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to try to run a jank build with Karamatsu and the Choromatsu Clock Reverser as my original yellow build, but after that, if that doesn't work out, I'm just going to replace it with this Yami card. So
I mean, this card is pretty good for the yellow deck because there isn't that much level 2 game as well for the yellow dot deck, right? So this pretty much...
if you're playing mono yellow, like strictly mono yellow, no green splash at all, you're gonna have like 2 options of early drops for level 2.
It's a overall like playable card. Well, it's technically niche since you kind of have to be running yellow, but it looks like yellow is going to be the deck for this set, at least in my opinion. Next, we're going to Scientist Dr. Decapon. Underwear Science trait, 0/500 power. All your other yellow characters gain 500 power. And when this is placed from hand to stage, choose one of your other level 1 or lower characters, and that character gains 1k power for the turn.
And this card has Yami in it, so it can be on your Yami waifu build.
Yep. I call it Iyameda. Right, now we're going to the Nia Hashimoto. It's a 0/0/2500 music animal trait. Pay 1, put the top card of your library in your clock. When it's placed from hand to stage, you may pay cost. If so, search your library for up to 1 level 1 or lower yellow character, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your library. So it's a unique Ricky, as in you search for a yellow character. Wait, Girlfriend Beta has one too, right, Enrique? I'm guessing he's playing Overwatch, but I'm pretty sure Girlfriend Beta has a one for yellow.
Is it uncommon?
I think it's a rare. I just know they have one for yellow. But this is interesting to see this as uncommon rarity. The power creep is real.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good for an uncommon.
Yep. I mean,
I'll take a Ricky for free.
color
I
locks.
was like hoping and praying when I saw that their rares were out. I was like, maybe they'll get an uncommon Ricky, and everyone was like, that's never gonna happen, and it did. So.
It color locks you, but who cares? Because you're already gonna play a yellow deck anyways.
Yeah,
It's like
I
these
mean,
effects are stupid.
I mean, if any, like yellow deck, if it's gonna splash anything, for the most part, is gonna be the level 3 Karamatsu, and that card's not even searchable with Ricky, so who cares?
The fact that this is 2,500 too. A Ricky
Yeah, it's
clone
above
with
the
25.
curve.
Yep. The other Ricky, they're not really Ricky clones, but the Kantai 2,500 Inuduma, and her effect goes off on death. So this is obviously way better, just because it sticks to the whole Ricky effect, but it still maintains the 500 curve, which is nice sometimes.
Yeah, it's a really solid card for yellow.
It helps you get to level 1, and you're gonna search out for your level 1 Nia-chan anyways, assuming that you have a climax in your hand.
Yeah, definitely.
But obviously you'd run like 3 or 4 of his cards of the Nia-chan.
I'll probably do 4.
Yep.
But it's all, I think Ricky's preference when it comes to 3 or 4, I guess.
Next we're going to Hatabo 004K uncommon flag trait. When it's placed from hand to stage, if there are 3 or more climaxes cards in your opponent's waiting room, rest this. This is an interesting condition.
Yeah, I think this is probably one of the easier 4Ks to pull off.
Yeah, I mean for early, but I don't like how this card's kind of bad though, because like for late game, say if you need an attacker, this card
then
can
basically
prevent.
You can't play it.
Yeah, I mean if you really want a 004K, you could put this, but I feel like there's just other options.
Yeah, it's not really needed with the amount of the utility cards that there are in the deck. Like, I've never liked 4Ks personally. Some people like them, some people don't.
The effects for 4K level zeros are usually like too detrimental, where it's not even worth it. I think.
Yeah, pretty much. It's kind of lame.
It kind of sucks though, because the character is pretty interesting.
Hey, he has one good card, and we're gonna get on that one next, actually.
Mr. Flag Hatabo, a 1/0 2K flag trait, uncommon. When you use backup, choose one of your yellow characters in battle, and that character gains 1K power per turn, and it's just a 1/0 1K backup. So it's pretty much going to be a 1/0 2K backup if you're playing the yellow deck.
Yeah, so it's probably the main backup you're going to play in this deck, besides the Dion card, which we'll get to. It's solid. It's a solid yellow card.
Yep, it's those costless 2K backup with like the stupid condition.
Yeah, it's like basically here's a limiter. Oh, but wait, my deck is built around this, so it's just good.
Yep.
Oh, here comes the best fucking card ever printed in Weiss Wars. Here we go.
Neon Chun card?
It's Rental Girlfriend EIO.
Girlfriend for Rent, Iayo, uncommon, 1/0, 4,500, overbite trait. When this attacks, this gains X power for the turn, X times 500 times the number of your other yellow characters, and it has hand encore.
I was kidding when I said it was the best card ever printed, but it's good. I like the character. That's what I'm trying to say.
I mean, you already have your 1/0 Totoko Ellie clone.
Yeah, this card's not really needed when you have the Ellie clone, because it's like, well, why only have that when I attack when I can have it all the time?
Yeah.
And place for hand encore. It's like, if this had clock encore, maybe, but it's not consistent enough. But it's cute, and I will be collecting it. And it still has the overbite trait.
Yep. It's
in my Yummy Waifu bill for sure.
Notice how that card didn't have the go trait. Anyways, we're going to 2/1 uncommon probably one of the best characters in the series. Dion! 2500 power, 1 soul, mystery trait. um, it's a 2500 level 2 backup, but also it has another effect where you pay 2, put a character from your hand, from your stage to the waiting room. When you use the backup of this card, you may pay cost. If so, choose one of your opponent's characters whose level is higher than your opponent's level and put it into the stock. It's an anti-level 3, anti-early play change that goes into stock.
I didn't know it put it in stock. What? I think someone mistranslated that when it came out originally.
I guess. Yep.
I mean, it's not great, but I mean, okay, I was gonna
It's
say
a sack
it's good.
counter. Yeah.
It's a good sack counter anti-change. Getting them stock is kind of weird, but I mean,
It's
it
one of the.
still is like it's a flexible card.
Yeah.
Like, it's flexible where you can use it when you're being attacked
Mhm.
to just like keep your opponent from getting an effect, and like it's useful for being able to get rid of level 3s, obviously.
Mhm.
And it's Dion, and you can just scream Dion whenever you anti-change them, and then they get really pissed at you.
Yep. It's like this is the most trollish sack counter ever. Next we're going to Odin Stall Chibita. 2/1 5k 1 soul Odin trait uncommon. It has level assist for characters in front, and when Apex of Preparation is placed in your climax zone, if you have 4 or more other yellow characters, you may choose one of your opponent's characters and return it to hand. You just run this card for the level assist, honestly, for yellow. That's about it.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's the climax combo is trash. The image for the climax combo is hilarious, but the climax combo itself is probably one of the weakest things I've ever seen in my life.
Yep. And the climax combo is what?
I believe it's blowback 1k1.
Okay. Next we're going to Miracle on Christmas Totoko. 2/1 Music Fish 8k. When it's placed from hand to stage, you have 3 or more other yellow characters, and there are 5 or fewer cards in your library. You refresh, and then you also choose one of your opponent's characters. You return it to their hand, and this gains 2k power for the turn. So it's a pretty neat refresh. It helps get out your early play Nyan-chan, level 3. And
I mean, it has a nice added effect of blowing back somebody instead of just refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't take a damage.
Yeah.
Overall, I'd say it's pretty good.
Yep.
For a refresh.
Yep.
Like, yeah, you have to have 3 or more yellow cards, but I mean, I don't think that should be a problem at level 2.
The return to hand is nice because I just read it, and like it's not like a character in the front row too. You can choose a character in your opponent's back row as well.
Yeah, so it's literally just a plus plus a plus. So.
Yep, you can get rid of like your opponent's level assist or like their costed back row cards. So overall, it's a good card.
It's probably a 1 of at most, though.
Yeah, it's easy to search out too since it's a yellow card, obviously.
Yeah.
Next, we're going to Decapon, a 2/2, 7500 2 soul underwear science trait. Uncommon, when it's placed from hand to stage, if you have 4 or more other yellow characters, you may put the top card of your library in your stock. And when it attacks, if the level of the character opposite this is 3 or higher, this gains 6k power for the turn. So pretty much it's going to be a 2/1 2 soul beater, and it has that effect where no matter, like, it doesn't matter if your opponent's level 2 or level 3, like if they have a level 3 that's facing this card, then it's always going to get that 6k power for the turn. So it's a really stupid effect because the way it's worded.
Oh no, it says when this attacks, really.
Oh, okay, sorry. When this attacks you, I see. If the level, yep. I mean, it's still pretty.
Oh yeah, no. The
card.
fact that it's a 2/1 with 2 soul is good.
Hmm.
I wanted to run it as a 1 of, but I think with the level assist, there might not be room for it anymore.
Hmm.
I'll have to see. If anything, it's a one of.
It's a nice if you do run this, it's a nice essentially 2/1 2 soul beater.
Yeah.
Um, that's about
I'll
it.
definitely consider putting it in the deck, but I just don't know if there's room anymore.
Next
I think it's a preference thing. It's like one of the few preference things in yellow.
oh, I guess for the alternate cards, you know how like the side characters have alternate artwork, but
Yeah.
some of them are like different rarity, like the Ion. I think it's a I don't know. I thought I saw SRs for some of them, so maybe one
I
foil.
don't think they're
Oh.
SRs. They're just uncommon with different
I
artwork.
see. Next is just a 3K 00 yellow Konichi Totoko. Next is Shinosuke Hijirisawa 00 3K with a mystery trait and has an ability. If this is on the stage, this is also considered to have new Osomatsu Nissan as the name.
That's Flavor from an episode where
I
they
see.
replaced Osomatsu with Shinosuke.
Oh yeah. This
So-
is from episode 2, right?
Yeah, Shinosuke is like a running gag in like the whole show. So I'm glad he got one card. He's a very interesting card, but I mean he's just a vanilla.
The way it's worded is like, you know how other cards with the ability where this card's name is also treated as like the Angel Beats card, the curse
Yeah.
card, but the way this is worded is this is also considered to have the way that's worded is interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess if you want to play him in your Matsu deck, he gets 500 from Global 5, so...
Next is just a Chibita card. It's a 1/0 5500 vanilla.
Oh yeah, look at that. It's so strong. That's the power creep right there.
Oh, I guess I was wrong. Like it's just the alternate artworks have this secret. I don't know why they make that as a secret. I don't understand.
Yeah, it's just the way Heart of the Cards is putting it for some reason. They're just like slightly different artworks. Like the Chibita looks really... He has a really creepy face and his alternate.
Next is a 1/1 common 6K Happy Debut Concert Totoko. If all your characters are yellow, this gains 500 power and clock on core, and when your other yellow character attacks, this gains 1K power for the turn. So, it's not that bad. On either player's turn, it's going to be a 6500 of clock on core.
Yeah, right now I have it as a one of in my yellow deck. I was gonna put 2. Basically it's there in the place of the Totoko 1/1 promo, which I can't find right now. But I think that card is strictly better than this one. But I think it could be preference because if you want the clock encore, then you can use this for like a sacrifice of 1000 power.
Mm-hmm. So on attack, this is either going to be a 7500 or 8500, and that's not including your back row assist as well.
Yeah, so I mean it's pretty good. I'm probably gonna try running it until I can get the Totoko promo.
It's a nice option to have. Next, we're going to Fish Idol.
That card's also got the only clock encore in yellow.
It's a 3/4 uncommon event. Deal 6 damage to your opponent. If this damage is cancelled, deal 1 damage to your opponent.
Yeah, it's like Uncool Step Volume 5. It's not very good.
Yep. I don't think you would want to run this. I don't think it has any room for the yellow build.
Yeah, it's just not good. I don't think it's very good.
And then we have the climaxes. Totoko's Dream is that one that combos with the level 3 Totoko. And we'll just go on to green now. Yay! Favorite card, Choromatsu, double R, 0/01K power, sextuplets Otaku trait. Your other character in the front row center slot gains 500 power and it has Brainstorm. Pay 1, tap itself. For each climax, you search for one character of Matsu in name. Reveal it and put it into your hand and shuffle your library. It's a good card for the Bros deck.
It's a solid Brainstormer. I feel like if they were going to give this kind of Brainstormer to any of them, they should have given it to Matsu because they need the power, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they need a Brainstormer they can spam because their deck's very delicate. That's what I'm going to say. They're delicate.
Mm.
They're trash. But in numbers, they may win. That's basically flavor almost, that the yellow characters are better than the brothers because they're just bad. Like, that's the whole entire, like, summary of their characters. But I mean, I think this card's really good. It's
Yeah, it's a solid. Next we're going to favorite card Karamatsu, double R, 002K power, sextuplets brow trait. Discard a card from your hand to the rain room. It has the Akatsuki ability, but then you add one character with Matsu name and you put it into your hand, and then the rest go into a rating room. It's a powerful ability, and the fact that it just grabs a Matsu character, it's kind of needed for the Matsu deck, but it's a card that the brothers deck needed. I like how
it's
they.
just Akatsuki. We know that Akatsuki is good, so it's like,
Yeah.
you're just gonna run 4 of it because it's Akatsuki. The end.
Yep, and the way.
It's pretty much a summary of Akatsuki.
And the fact that this can grab the level 0 Jushimatsu's girlfriend goes good.
Yeah, it's just like, and the fact that it's based on the name, so it doesn't matter what color it is, it's just solid.
Is the cat have Matsu in its name? Because it's Ichimatsu's. Is it like an Ichimatsu card?
I believe the card is just called Esperanto. I believe that's what it's called. I don't think that it's... even if it did have it, it's not worth running.
Yeah.
It's just like a pay-2 on Death Salvage or something. We'll get to it. We'll figure it out once we get to it, but I'm pretty sure it's just called Esperanto.
Next, we have favorite card Osomatsu. It's another double or 3/2 sextuplets gamble trait, 2 soul 9k power. If there are 6 or more climax cards in your rain room, it gets -1 level while in your hand. You have 2 more other characters Matsu in name. It gains 2k power, and it heals on play.
Yeah, so he's like basically this is the trial deck version of the card. Like, it's okay. The trial deck card basically just got up and was like, "I'm gonna be good now," and then it was like, "Here's a standard drop heal." That's it.
It's a decent early play where with the ability that it's going to be 11k power and it heals.
Yeah, I mean it's nothing great, but it's all right. It's pretty good. I mean, with both of with the quality of both the other green double R's, I feel like one of them had to be a little weaker anyway.
And you'll obviously get this even though the early play is not the best early play conditions. It's easier to get because you have an Akatsuki and a Brainstorm for your build.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
So it's a pretty solid card. Next, we're going to Sweet Danshi Osomatsu Rare 00 power sextuplets gamble trait. All your other characters Matsu in name gain 500 power and pay 2 Restus. Switch your library for up to 1 character Matsu in name, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your library. So this is a small power creep, kind of, in a sense where it's global 500 and it's pay 2 Restus, and you search for a Matsu character for a level 0 card, because usually you see that type of profile for level 1 cards.
Yeah, and I don't think they'll ever print this for trait. They'll print this for, since this card is by name only, I think that's why they are allowed to get away with putting it as a level 0. It's like those little subtle things give the Matsu characters certain, like, power creep things, but nothing, like, super strong.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good card. I think it's good. It's like a 2 of or 1 of.
And if anything, this character was the right choice to give the global 500 since he is the eldest brother.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's good. I think most of the Sweets cards are good.
So would you say the standard back row would be the Osomatsu Global 500 and then the other one, the Brainstormer? The one where it
from
taps
like
itself?
level 0 to maybe 2, yeah. It depends on if you run the Ichimatsu 1/1 global level assist. It's a, like I said, the brothers build seems like it has a lot of preference in it. Like you have to really pick and choose what you prefer. Like it's gonna be a hard build.
It's open to different play styles.
Yeah.
Next,
there's a lot to do in it.
We're going to F6 Karamatsu. It's a rare 002K, 6-tuplets brow trait. When it's placed from hand to stage, choose one of your characters with Matsu in name, and that character gains 1500 power for the turn.
Trial deck card like this, isn't there?
Yeah.
Why the hell did they print this as a rare then? I'm a little confused.
I guess because the other one was different color, but it doesn't really matter because they're all Matsu name. I don't know.
Did it only give 1,000 or did it give 15? I don't know. But that's kind of weird. Now that I think about it. The card's okay.
Well,
it's
I guess
rare
no.
with-
I think it's the trial deck one is. I think it had to be. You have to choose another character.
Oh no, it was. I think it was on attacks.
Yeah, and you have to choose one. Yeah, you have to choose one of your other characters. For this one, you can technically choose itself as well.
Yeah, this card's not bad. It's just like I don't know if it makes the cut.
A lot of other sets have this type of effect where it's on play gets 1500 power for a turn. Like Cinderella Girls, they have it. And you give them Glasses Shred as well.
See, I honestly would have preferred like a 1K 1 level on attack or something, or on place.
If anything, I would see this for like on reverse abilities because there's gonna be some level 3s in the set, right, that requires on reverse, or like the Are there any?
Yeah, Tati
on
is
reverse as
on
well?
reverse at level 3, yeah. And Ichimatsu as well. And the Choromatsu clock
Mhm.
kick.
It's a nice ability to have.
It's not terrible.
Yeah. Next, we're going to F6 Osomatsu. 1/0 4500 power, sextuplets gamble trait. When it attacks, if you have 2 or more other characters with Matsu in name, this gains 2k power for the turn, and it has Clock Encore. There's a card from Charlotte that's like this. It's a 1/0 green card as well.
Oh, really? Isn't that played in the main build? Or am I thinking about the wrong
No,
card?
it's played in the anti-fun build where it's blue-green.
All I know is that I'm looking at this card, I don't like it that much, but that's the thing, like, a lot of their level 1s are preference. Like, they have a lot of different level 1s that fit different preferences.
Yeah.
So, I mean, some people are going to like this, some people are going to like another one.
On your turn, it's gonna be a 1/0 6500, but like on your opponent's turn, it's gonna be such a weak card where it's gonna pretty much die.
Yeah, I personally don't like it. I feel like it'll make you take too much damage.
Yeah.
But hell, Little Busters runs a fucking vanilla Clock Encore, so
Yeah.
maybe it depends on what you like.
Next, we're going to Rising Sikorsky Chodomatsu 1/0 4500 rare sextuplets otaku trait. If you have 2 more other characters with Matsu in name, this gains 1k power. And when the battle point of this becomes reversed, if Choromatsu Rising is in your climax zone, put up to 2 cards from top of your library in your stock. And the climax combo for it is a gold bag, a money bag.
Yeah,
It's an
we
old
fossils
trigger.
now like Haruhi.
I really don't like this of like the climax combo for this card.
I feel like all they had to do to make this climax combo good would be make it gold bar and then make it so that you stock Matsus.
Yeah, if it was
And then
something
it would
like
actually be
replace,
good.
if it was like grab a Matsu card from your waiting room, like even if it's just 1 Matsu card, because I feel like if you grab 2 Matsu cards from waiting room to stock, that'd be so good because you're getting clean
Yeah.
stock. But I feel like for the brothers build, I mean, this effect is nice to have for like certain playstyles, but I still wouldn't run this though personally. Like it's such a gamble just getting 2 blind stock, and I just don't like the whole money bag counter.
Yeah, I don't either. It's very blind stock, like all the way through, and I just feel like if it was tweaked a bit, it would be decent. But I mean, it's just weird. I don't know. I think it's a preference thing. Some
And-
people might like getting a shit ton of stock. I mean, the deck does kind of eat up a lot of stock at level 3, but it's like, well, what are the chances of you stocking 4 climaxes and then not canceling anything and just losing before level 3?
I feel like nowadays, just Weiss short stacks in general, like for triggers, it's most like you want to get some type of value like gold. Like the triggers are either gold bar, or like gate, or like pants, or like blowback. Like those I feel like they have more sentiment. Like they have more value to their triggers compared to like just money bag.
Yeah, Moneybag is just... Isn't Moneybag just, it's like Gold Bar almost, like you put top card deck in a stock, but then you put Moneybag in a stock?
Yeah.
So you just lose a climax and some random card that could be a climax as well.
Yep.
It's like, it sounds appealing to new players probably, because they're like, oh, I can get so much stock, but it's like, you'll lose track of your stock really fast if you get that much stock.
Yep.
And I mean, yeah, they have a spammable brainstormer to filter their stock, but I mean, testing needs to be required. I think it really is just not a very good card, and it's
Yep.
Some people might have it in their preference, but I think
There's just better
products.
options, I think.
Yeah, me too.
Next, we're going to Sweet Danshi Kadematsu, rare 3/2 9k power, sextuplets brow trait, 2 soul. If the sum of the level character opposite of this and the level of this is 6 or higher, this gains 2k power. And when it's placed from hand to stage, choose one of your opponent's characters in the front row, and that character gets minus 4,500 power for the turn. And when this attacks, if Hedgehog's Dilemma is in the climax zone, you may put the top card of your library in your stock. So this is a really good
But
level
not
3 for a
library,
rare.
clock.
Oh, yeah, put the top card of your clock in your stock. So this is a really good level 3 rare card.
Oh yeah. I think some of the sweets cards should have been double R's instead of rare. It's really weird.
So for the first effect, it pretty much applies to level 3 only, but the fact that on play you choose one of your opponent's characters and they in the front row and they get minus 4,500 power is such a strong effect. It's pretty much gonna be like a guarantee, not guarantee, but it's pretty much an almost like for sure reverse, I guess.
Yeah. The only thing that really sucks about this card particularly is that if you want to choose to run this climax combo, like, it's a good climax combo. There's no denying that healing stock is a good climax combo.
Yeah.
But it's very defensive, and unless you want to run 2 level 3 climax combos, which I personally don't think is good, it's like you have no damage at that point. So then you just have to kind of go for, like, I guess if you're gonna run this card, you'd have to run the Ichimatsu, which is pay 2, burn 1 on reverse, or you'd run the Choromatsu clock kick, because I feel like in a deck like this, you almost would run like a lot of stock stuff, like, because you'd run this and this technically gens you a stock while healing, and then you'd probably run like some other stuff that gives you stock, but I mean, you just use a lot of stuff. You'd save a lot of your stock for level 3 with this deck.
I mean, there's there's a money counter / anti-damage event, right, for the Brothers deck?
Yeah, I just think the Brothers have so much stuff that, like, it branches out into so many different playstyles that it's almost really difficult to build a deck for them that's, like, got everything good in it.
And this was the card we were talking about earlier that you could technically splash in your yellow deck so you can help your level 3 Totoko get a reverse. But then at the same time, I feel like it's an interesting like tech to splash in, but I don't know if it would hurt the consistency of the yellow deck. So we'd have to.
Well, yeah, that's why it needs testing.
Yeah. But there's nothing wrong. Like, this level 3 has no downside.
Yeah, I don't think anything is really bad on this card.
And then the climax combo for it is a gold bar. So that's just nice to have. And it bypasses anti-heal, obviously, so.
Just a solid Karamatsu card.
Yep. Next, we're going to Sweets Danshi Chodomatsu, rare, 3/2, 9k power, sextuplets otaku trait. If there's 6 or more cards in your stock, this gains 3k power. When it's placed from hand to stage, drop the 2 cards, discard 2 cards from your hand to the waiting room, and put up to 1 card from top of your library in your stock. And pay 2, discard a card from your hand to the waiting room. When the battle point of this becomes reversed, you may pay cost. If so, put that character in the clock.
This is one of the weirdest cards I've ever seen.
Yep.
Like, the effects on it are so weird. Like, that draw ability is so weird.
I
like,
mean,
yeah, you get a card from stock. I know you get a card to stock, but it's like, I feel like this card should have been like...
That profile, the draw 2, discard 2, and you get a blind stock is from a Miku card that was an early play Miku card. So
really?
Essentially it's a 3/1. It's a 3/1 level 3, which is kind of nice if you're like running low on stock and you want to play another level 3, because there are times where like you don't have enough stock to play another level 3.
Yeah, so the only thing I don't like, yeah, that ability's, like, the second ability's not bad or anything, but I just feel like it almost, like, contradicts with its clock shoot, cost, because you have to discard, so it's like you're already negging 2 cards when playing this card. It's like, what if I want to play 2 of this? I'm not really, like, getting anywhere.
And then the pay 2 to clock kick kind of hurts the 3k power. But then again, though, the way that Weiss works is that you do soul damage and then you check for power to see who gets reversed. So after you kill something, after you reverse it, then you can pay your stock to clock. You can pay your stock to clock kick. So it'll still be a 12k to reverse.
Yeah, I just think that this card is like really crap if you try to play more than one of it.
It's just very contradictory. Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like it's battling itself in its own freaking text.
Yep.
I wish it was good, but I just feel like it's not worth the like. You have to like freaking manage yourself so like meticulously to play this card. I don't think it's worth it when you can play something else.
Yep.
Probably one of the worst Sweets cards.
Yeah.
Which sucks because I love Choromatsu, but I mean, I can't help that he was printed with a shit card. I wouldn't say it's shit. It's just it's not good. I don't think it's not great. Some people might really like it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe with the stock deck, it just blows shit out of the water, but I doubt it.
Next, we're going to F6 Chodomatsu, Uncommon, 00 1500 power, X6 toplets Otaku trait. When this becomes reversed, if the level of the battle opponent of this is 0 or lower, you may put the top card of your opponent's clock in the rating room, and if so, put that character in clock. So it's just a standard clock swapper. Level 0.
Yeah, it's solid for an uncommon.
Yeah, it's 1500 power. It has the same profile as the Attack on Titan Petra. She's also 1500 power.
Yeah.
I just wish it was 1k power. So say if you want to trade this for Kantai Hibiki, your opponent wouldn't be able to get their Hibiki, their Verni play if it's on your turn that you're doing the clock swapping.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's still a pretty standard. Like it's a decent level 0 if you want to run a clock swapper.
I mean, I think it's good. I think clock swappers are better than normal suiciders.
Yeah, definitely. It's just really awkward if your opponent cancels and they're like level 1 or level 0 like with no clock.
Well, I wouldn't play this turn 1.
Yeah. Next we're going to Calling Names Osomatsu. Uncommon, 00 1500 6 tuplets Gamble trait. When it's placed from hand to stage, choose one of your opponent's character and that character gets minus 500 power for the turn. So it just has the Kaiki ability.
Except that's all it is.
Yep.
And it's a 15. But the flavor text is hella rude and it's from Rental Girlfriend. So they have a lot of. They actually have, I think, one of each brother with this card. Which is interesting. Not the same card, but...
I don't know if you'd run this in your brother's build, because I think there's just better options.
So. I don't think there's enough room for it. It's just so weak after it's played. And there's not enough backstage cards that can be killed with it.
If it was like 1k power, I feel like, yeah, maybe this warrants some spot, but the 500 power, I feel like, doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I agree.
Next we're going to Festival Guide Kadamatsu, 1/1 5500 power, 6 tuplets Brow trait. When your other character of Matsu name attacks, this gains 1500 power for the turn, and it has hand on core. So potentially it can be either a 7k or an 8/5.
Yeah, and it's just another one of those on your opponent's turn. It's going to be really vulnerable. But
yeah.
Instead of having clock encore, this time it has hand encore. And it's got not 5500 more power, but it's got 1000 more power than the Osomatsu card. I think that's like where the preference starts to come in. Like a lot of these level 1s are similar but slightly different. But it's alright.
Yeah. Next we have Festival Guide Chodomatsu, 1/1 6k uncommon, 6 tuplets Otaku trait. If you have 2 or more other characters of Matsu in name, this gains 2k power. So actually this is pretty nice because it's gonna be a 1/1 8k on either player's turn.
I think I'm like obsessed with power on my cards, so I would probably pick this one because I like the power, and they're gonna have to kind of either just like put a level 1 reverser into it, or they're gonna have to like really like work to get over it, and even then I might have a backup because they have some pretty good backups for the sextuplets. I feel like I'd pick this card for my 1/1 card if I was going to pick something for a beater, but it is vulnerable against, like, obviously it's vulnerable against reversers, and it's vulnerable against, like, just a big push, because it doesn't have any way to save itself without paying 3 stock.
I like, if we're going to include the back row assist, it's either going to be 8500 power, or it's going to be 9k if it's in the middle.
Yeah.
That's pretty good for a level 1. For a 1/1, I guess.
Yeah, all of the Matsu backstage cards are going to give at least 500 power. Because if you switch to level assist at level 1, it's still getting 500 to your level 1, so...
Next, we're going to Calm Detective Osomatsu, Uncommon 2-1 8K. When this attacks, if Calm Osomatsu is in the climax zone, choose up to one character in your waiting room with Matsu in name and put into your stock, and this gains 3k power for the turn. Also, green does get a card that gives you clean stock.
Yeah, but it's at level 2, so it's a little bit harder to work with.
Do you know what it combos with?
Yeah, it's a gold bar.
It's another gold bar?
I'm pretty sure it's a gold bar.
Yeah. It's a... Yep, you're right, gold bar. So...
I mean, it's not terrible, but I'm not sure if it being at level 2 is worth it.
I mean, at least this effect is, like, free. You don't have to reverse anything. It just when it attacks. Oh yeah, and it gains 3k power for the turn as well. So it's going to be 12k with the climax, not including back row. It's a decent card. I guess, like you said, this goes on to the whole preference.
Yeah, there's just so much choice involved in picking what cards you want.
Yep. I just don't know, like, if this is really worth running in as your climax slot. But,
yeah, I don't think so, honestly.
Next,
there's a lot of searcher combos in Osomatsu, so there's a lot of picking and choosing.
Next, we're on to Guild Guide Karamatsu, Uncommon 2-2 6500 2 soul. If you have 4 more characters with Matsu in name, this gets -1 level while in your hand. And if all your characters have Matsu in name, this gains 3k power. It's gonna be a 1-2 with 9500 power for 2 soul. That's actually pretty strong, but then it can still get. Wait, no.
It only gets -1 level in hand.
Yeah. So yep. This is actually pretty good. I guess if you have the stock.
Yeah, it's just not something you can play multiples of.
Yeah. I mean, it's still vulnerable to wind triggers or blowback triggers.
I mean, you can also technically anti-change it if it's got if they have like a level 1 anti-change in their set.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, there's lots of rares 1-0 anti-changes, but I don't know if it's worth your opponent to anti-change this card as well.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, it's an interesting card. It still goes with the preference thing. I'm just gonna say preference over and over again because that's just the Matsu deck just is really they really don't kid when they say 6 faces, 6 personalities because there's a lot of different ways you can play this deck.
Can you guys see my screen? Because Enrique asked to share a screen.
No, I can't see anything.
No, I can't.
Okay.
So I'm done with Overwatch, so I'll actually start talking.
Wow, it's about time. I mean, you missed all the yellow stuff, but I mean that stuff's so straightforward. It's not even funny.
Honestly,
How rude.
Well,
anyways,
I'm gonna fucking play it, but I mean,
here, Enrique, I'll just send you the
yeah, you can just click
link.
through alongside.
Yeah, I'll just put the link.
I'm too lazy. I'll just listen to you guys.
Okay, that's great. You can hear what the card says and just say what you think about it.
Next, we're going to Idol Otaku Chodomatsu 00 common, 1500 power, sextuplets Otaku trait. This is in the front row center slot. This gains 3k power for the turn, so it can be a 4500 powers in the center slot for level 0.
Oh, that's really.
I mean, it's like here I play Suicider. You're done.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's still vulnerable to Suiciders or Reversers.
I mean, it's interesting and it's got real cute card art, but I mean, unless you're playing like a Choromatsu waifu deck, it's like who cares?
Next, we're going to Matsuyu Matsuno and Matsuzo Matsuno. These are the parents of the sextuplets. 00 2500 power with family trait. Rest 2 of your characters. This gains 2k power for the turn.
It's mediocre.
Yep.
But I mean, it's cute that they gave the parents a card.
The flavor text is the mom says, "Hey, Neats, the pears are peeled," and they went all crazy for the pears.
Her little needs. Oh my gosh.
The pairs. These guys.
Yeah, they're like, I forget exactly what they were doing. Freaking Karamatsu was abducted by Chibita for them to have to pay their tab. He was taking him as a ransom, and they were on the phone with him, and then suddenly their mom just says, the pears are peeled, and they fucking run into the fucking kitchen and just start eating pears and don't give a fuck.
Yep.
They literally abandoned their brother for fucking peeled pears. It's good though.
Yep, and even Chibito was like, well, damn, your family doesn't care about you. Next, we're just is calling names Karumatsu is just a standard 0-0 vanilla. And then the next card is...
Oh, here's the worst, possibly the worst 3-5 ever printed in the history of Weiss Wars.
Festival Guy Osomatsu 0-0-3500 sextuplets gamble trait. When it's placed from hand to stage, put the top card of your library in the waiting room. If it's not a character with Matsu name, discard a card from your hand to the waiting room. Oh my god. That negging
Right?
ability.
Like, okay, I can understand if, like, it got tapped or, like, got sent to stock or something, but is it really worth it? That's like a fucking 4K ability. It's like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's like way too steep of a cost for a 3-5. Like, come on, 3-5 is not that dangerous.
I mean, if anything, it's like a milling option, I guess.
I guess if you want to lose a card. It's
I mean, it's gonna
mill a
get...
climax every time and lose a card.
Yeah, it's gonna get a... It's... The milling is not really a downside, because you're obviously gonna put this in your brother's deck.
Yeah, but I'd rather just run the 0-0 Choromatsu that
Yeah.
can't side attack instead if I'm going to run a 3-5.
I guess it's okay for your husbando Osomatsu deck.
Yeah. I mean, the card's cute. I like the artwork.
Anyways, we're going to female Matsu-san Kadeko. It's just a 1-0-1500 backup.
Yeah, all of the girly Matsu cards are vanilla, so it
Ew, I
shows
hate how
trash
it's...
and unfunny.
Well, it doesn't even matter. I was gonna say it's a sports trait, but it doesn't matter because it has Matsu in its name. So you can grab this still with your Akatsuki or your Brainstormers.
Oh no, it doesn't have Matsu in its name at all.
Oh, it doesn't?
Does it?
On the
Oh
heart
no,
of the card.
it says female Matsu. Yeah, because their names are like they all end with ko, so I was confused as if they had it, but it says female Matsu in it. So yeah, I mean you wouldn't want to run these anyway. They're all vanilla.
Next is Oldest Son Trouble Osomatsu 1-0-4500 power. If you have another Oldest Son's Trouble Osomatsu, this gains 2k power for the turn.
Yeah, they have a print of this card for every single brother, like different ones, so they all take up a slot. So they took up 6 slots in the set with this card.
Yep.
It's for like I'm assuming it's for like husbando decks.
Such a waste, though.
Yeah, it is a waste. Here's another one.
Yep. I'm just going through all of them.
Bathrobe look, ninja.
And then now they have a female Matsu-san Osoko 1-1-7k.
Yeah, like
It
I
has
said, all
no
the girly
traits.
Matsus are what trait does it have?
It has no traits.
Oh yeah, because she's just bland.
Next is Always Together Matsuno Brothers. 2-1, 6500 power, sextuplets trait. 1 soul. All your other characters with Matsu in name gain X power, where X is their level, and then pay 1 when legendary sextuplets is placed in your climax zone. You may pay cost. If so, search your library for up to 1 character with Matsu in name, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your library. So the climax combo is a stock soul, right?
I believe so.
It's
yeah.
a green stock
Let me
soul.
just check.
But other than that, I like how it's a global level assist for Matsu characters.
Yes, it's a stock soul.
For green, so it's pretty much you get a free search with 1 free search.
Yeah. It's alright. It's the only search deck that the brothers have. They don't have their other 2 searchers are salvage.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to get around anti-salvage, then and you don't mind playing a level 2 climax combo, you can play this. I don't think it's terrible, but I think it might be better with just the level assist. It's preference. Like I hate saying that over and over again, but I feel like that's really what it is.
I mean, I like the stock soul.
I mean, I like this card, but I'd have to test it to see if the climax combo is workable. Because I feel like you really don't want to run 4 of this in your deck.
Oh yeah, obviously not. It's like anything like I think it's a 2 or 3 of at most.
Yeah, so maybe you could fit like 3 separate climaxes in the deck, but the Brothers Build is so weird. I really need to test a lot of things to see how it's going to work. Obviously, I'll be posting deck profiles once I figure out what I'm doing, but for now, I'd say this is a good card, and if you want to run it, go ahead.
Next, we're going to Ichimatsu Incident. Kadomatsu 2-1, 7500 power, 1 soul. If you have 2 more other characters Matsu in name, this gains 1500 power in the following ability. During battles involving this, your opponent cannot play backup from hand. So it's pretty much going to be 9k with where your opponents can't play backup.
Yeah,
That's actually pretty
right.
good because there are cards where like during battles like neither player can play backup, but this allows you to play backup on your when you're being attacked.
Oh yeah, you're right actually. Huh.
So it's not bad.
Yeah, it's not terrible. I don't know if it fits. Like level 2 is always like whenever I see a level 2 card, I don't know what to do because a lot of level 2s just aren't like level 2 is just a very lowly like it's not a very high amount of like cards are usually play level 2.
I just like this profile because it's like you know you're gonna win the battle like the battle with this card if they're if they're gonna be weaker for sure.
Yeah, I like it. I was gonna build a Karamatsu mono deck maybe. So I mean this is probably something I could play in that.
Next is just a 2-1, 8500 power female Matsu-san Choroko.
Oh yeah, Choroko's a Fujoshi, which makes me angry. But does okay.
I can't wait for the episode.
I'm not. No, Girly Matsu is really fucking stupid. It's not funny at all. Like it literally. I've never not laughed before. Like it's basically Osomatsu if Osomatsu wasn't funny.
Next is Big Brother Thinking of Little Brothers. Osomatsu 2-2, 7500 power, 2 soul. If you have 2 more other characters of Matsu in name, it gains 2k power and hand on core.
Yeah, it's. I don't really like 2/2s unless they have some really good effect, and this one's like pretty not good.
Yeah, it's like at this point I'd rather just save up for my level 3 game.
Yeah, or play early drops since Osomatsu has like 6,000 of those.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's literally no point in playing level 2s in the Osomatsu deck or the Matsuno deck because
the Bros deck.
They have so many early drops. It's not even funny.
Next, we're going to Calling Names Chodomatsu 2-2, 10k power, 2 soul. Discard a card from your hand to the waiting room. When this is placed from hand to stage, you may pay cost if not put this in the waiting room. So it's those standard 2-2, 10k, 2 souls where you have to discard a card.
Yeah,
and it has to be a character
his ass
card.
Is on fire. His ass hair is on fire.
And it has to be a character card as well. So
that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I don't like that card.
Next, we're going to Calm. It's a 1-1 event counter. Choose one of your characters with Matsu in name, and that character gains 3,500 power for their turn. So, would you play this in your brother's build? I mean, it's a good card for Matsu for the bros build.
Yeah, I think I would play it in my brother's build because the brothers don't have any really good level 1 backup. They don't have a splittable level 1 backup. They have a Tati at level 2 that does splittable, but they don't have a level 1. This is probably their best level 1 backup, so yeah, I'd play it. As like a 2 of, I think.
Yeah. I mean, with that 1-1 card that we were talking about earlier, the one that becomes 8k if you have 2 Matsu characters, the 1-1 green card,
yeah.
This would make that level 1 a really like big level 1 wall. Like it'd be
it's pretty much unstoppable with this card.
Yeah. Well, not unstoppable, but
unless
a
they
pretty
have
big wall. Yeah. It's nice to have. I think it's like anything it'd be like a 2 or 3 of.
Yeah, I think 2 is just enough, maybe.
Yeah. Next, we're going to Self-Awareness, a 1-1 event. Search your library for up to 1 character Matsu name, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your library. and choose one of your characters with Matsu name, and that character gains 3k power for your turn. So this is one of like the hyped cards when it was spoiled, because people were saying that like it's technically like 2 pendants in one, but I wouldn't really say it's 2 pendants in one, like because the blue pendant has the counter step, and then it is a yellow pendant. But well, overall, this event is a good event to have. Like you search for one character and you give someone 3k power. Like that's just value.
Yeah, I like it. The only thing I'm worried about is that the Matsu deck might be a little event heavy, so you're gonna have to pick and choose what events you want to use. Because there's also the money counter. I mean, it's not money counter, but it's anti-damage. And then there's also a salvage combo, but I don't think it's as good.
If
or not
anything,
combo, but event.
If anything, I think like this would be one of the more favorable choices for people, because I just like how you search. Well, I mean, there's already a lot of searching options in the deck as well.
Yeah, I think it's good. I would run it, but I'd have to see like there's a lot of ratio testing for the Matsuno deck. I know I sound so serious about it, but I mean I'm trying to find a good build for it. Ratio testing and Weiss Wars, oh my god, whatever. I'm gonna shut up.
Next,
I like the cards.
We're going to Uncommon 2-0 event. If you have no character's Matsu name, you cannot play this card from your hand. And choose up to one character in your waiting room with Matsu name, put it into your stock. Choose one of your characters and that character gains 2k power for the turn, put this in your stock. So you get like a clean stock card. You get a clean stock from your waiting room into your stock, and then you put this event itself into your stock and you give someone 2k.
I think this event's trash personally,
it's a pretty
but that's
green
just
card.
me.
Yep. I hate the condition if you have no characters in Matsu name. Like you're obviously gonna play this in your brother's build if you decide to play this card.
Yeah, it's just bad. It's like, why play this when I can just play a 1/1 event that has to be search something instead of put something in stock? I don't know. I just never thought a card that literally just puts a card in stock is any good. I just think that's not great. I don't even know why it has that limiter on it. I guess because it's free.
These type of conditions are stupid. Like I said, like
yeah, they don't matter.
I guess it's for to stop like standard. Like if you want to make this in a standard deck, I guess.
But you need a stock of Matsu.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They have that condition. Yeah, they made that condition specifically, so like it won't be broken in the standard deck if it didn't have that Matsu condition. Next are just the climaxes, which we already went through.
So we're at the end of green.
Yep, and we're on to the last color is red. My husbando, favorite card Jushimatsu, 1/0 4500 power, double rare, 6-tuplet sports trait. Recollection. If the girl Jushimatsu likes is in your memory, this gains 1k power. And recollection, when this attacks if Jushimatsu and love is in the climax zone, and the girl Jushimatsu like is in your memory, choose up to one character in your waiting room with Matsu name, return it to your hand, and this gains 1k power for the turn.
Yeah, I know you haven't seen this episode yet, but once you do, you're gonna like really understand what this card is like flavorful of. I think it's nice when Weiss Wars does cards like this, where it's like strictly flavor, and it's not terrible the card, but it's a little combo-y since it's like, what if you never draw into the girl his crush? Then you literally just, if you draw this, it's not a searcher, it's just a plain ass card that's not gonna do shit.
Yep. And if you do run the girl, like I feel like you'd have to maximize it at 4 just so you'd have to get this a combo off.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it because I like the combo, but I wouldn't say I have super high hopes for it. But I mean, you do only have to get one in your hand to get this to work, but sometimes level 0 is really fast and you don't have time to get it.
It just sucks when there's potentially like anti-salvage does exist as well.
Yeah, that's another thing. It's I get nervous when it comes to salvage, but I mean it's free. Like this card can be really powerful if you pull it off against a set that can't anti-salvage it, because
you get you get plus.
it's like a 7,500 cost 0 that you don't have to pay for the ability.
And I hate, especially against anti-salvage, like when this attacks. So it's not like when a person gets reversed or whatever. I mean, I guess this is better in the sense of you're not going against anti-salvage, but still, I don't know. At least
Yeah,
the climax
I feel
is
like with these
gay.
ability where it gains so much power on reverse would have been fine.
Yeah.
But I guess it's because it already has so many requirements in order to get salvage at all that's why they did that. It's a really strange card, but the only reason it exists is because of the flavor of the episode, and it's cute. I definitely really like it.
It's a nice card for the set to have because there really isn't that much salvaging options from what I've noticed so far.
Yeah. There's one more, but we'll get to that when we do.
Next we're going to the favorite card Ichimatsu Double R, 3/2 9K power 2 soul 6 animal trait. If you have two or more other characters with Matsu in name, this gains 2K power. When it's placed from hand to stage, look at up to 6 cards from the top of your library. Choose 3 of them and put them in the waiting room. Put the rest on top of your library in any order.
That is really weird.
And pay 2. When the battle opponent of this becomes reversed, you may pay cost. If so, deal 1 damage to your opponent. So it's pretty much going to be 11K.
Yeah.
With a brand
what I was saying was weird was that the brothers are out of order in their double R's. That's all I was saying.
Oh yeah.
But besides that, I don't like this card because I think paying 2 to deal 1 is like really steep. And I mean, its second card is interesting, but you don't get to draw anything.
Mm-hmm. It's the second effect is pretty much borrowed from the level 3 Nozomi from DX, right?
I don't know if that was the like first card to have that, but yeah, that card does have this ability. But like the reason that she has that ability is because
she's a fortune teller.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true, but also the fact that her like it kind of combos with her second effect because
it gives everyone a soul, right?
It's something about soul.
Yep, it gives everyone
exactly
a soul.
what the card does, but
it gives all music characters a soul or something like that.
Like if anything, I feel like maybe they're like trying to get you to run this card with like Tati so that you can like dictate what he gets when he mills, but I think that's a little too combo-y.
I mean, even then you can kind of control like your soul damage as well. That's why I kind of like how you choose the order when you're attacked.
That's true as well. I mean, and he does burn, like that's pretty good. I don't know, I just feel like pay 2 burn 1 is really expensive. I know that's the norm,
is.
But it just
if anything, it should
me.
be, yeah, there's effects where you can pay 1 and deal much more damage. Like there's one in Milky Homes that was recently released with a climax combo. At least this one doesn't require climax combo.
Yeah, it's just like when I see this, I think this is a card you run if you decide to run like the Karamatsu climax combo or something. But like I personally think that side by side next to Totomatsu, this card is just like straight unburnable trash.
Yeah.
Like the Totomatsu is also pay 2, but and yeah, you have to have a climax, but we'll get to it. But I mean, it's just so much stronger.
I agree with the flavor text. How I feel about this card. I'm not interested.
Yeah, I'm not interested.
It's just in the game where there's like so many like unfair cards that some other sets have. It's like you wish that it would have more like an in-your-face effect.
Yeah, Osomatsu didn't really get any unfair level 3s, which is kind of sucky.
Yeah.
Kind of sucky, but I mean, I'm just happy they're in the game. So
next is favorite card, Totomatsu 3/2 6-tuplet smartphone trait 3/2 9K 2 soul. If you have 2 more other characters with Matsu name, this gains 2K power for the turn. When this is placed from hand to stage, you may put the top card of your
it's not for the turn; it's just forever.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. If you have 2 more other characters, it's pretty much gonna be 11K. He heals. And then pay 2 when this attacks if Totomatsu and 5 Devils is in the climax zone. You may pay cost. If so, put the top 6 card of your library in your waiting room and deal X damage to your opponent. X is sum of the number of soul triggers of the cards put into the waiting room this way. Damage cancel can occur.
I think this card is probably the best finisher for red for not red but for the brothers obviously.
Yeah.
Like I 100% am running this card as my finisher in brothers. Like I might build a couple different builds to like test out how they feel, but I think this is probably the strongest card you can put in the Matsu deck.
What does it combo with? It comes with combos with
a stock soul.
Stock soul for red.
Yeah. I don't know. This card does so much. Like first of all, it gets a good amount of power. It heals you, and it has a fairly strong burn effect on it. I think it's a good finisher. I think this card's actually really good.
The burn
But-
doesn't even require you to reverse it, just when it's on attack as well.
Yeah, so it doesn't that mean that it happens before anti-burn?
Yep.
Or anti-damage?
Yep.
Yeah, so I think this card's pretty good. The more I look at it, the more I like it, and I don't even like Tonomatsu that much, so...
Yeah.
I'll definitely be running this in my Matsu deck. That's the only crappy thing, is I really want to run this, and I also like the Karamatsu healer card, but I'm not gonna... If anything, I might run maybe two of his... I might do like a 3-3, like 2 weird jank-ass... I don't know, I have to think about it.
It's kind of relevant that, like, since his climax is a stock soul, when you're using his milling ability, if you hit his climax, that's already going to be 2 damage.
Yeah. Very true. There's a lot of 2 soul trigger in Osomatsu as well for climaxes.
I mean, sure, if they cancel the burn, like, they cancel it, but now they're going to have to deal with, like, a 3 soul. That's just one less climax that you have to worry about.
I think the card is solid. It's a little unpredictable because of its random effect, but, I mean, you're also milling damage out of the way, so...
Yeah. I mean, it's more predictable if you're running that other level 3 red card that we just talked about. But at the same time, that's a lot of stock too.
Yeah, and it's just like, why play him when you can play Tati and pay 2 and do the same thing but better?
Yep.
I don't know, it's just good.
Yep.
Plus you get a stock, so technically his ability only costs 1.
Yep.
I don't know, I think Tonomatsu's really good. I think he's probably one of the best double R brothers.
Yeah, I agree. Next we're going to Sweets Danshi Todomatsu, rare, 0/2500 power. Pay 1, put the top card of your library in your clock. When it's placed from hand to stage, you may pay cost. If so, choose a character in your waiting room with Matsu name and return it to your hand. So this is like ALT Krista, but it's better because you're not choosing a level 1 or lower. You're choosing any character card with Matsu in its name.
So basically anything in your Matsu deck is going to be searchable by this card. And
Or
that's extremely
salvageable,
powerful,
Yep.
honestly. Like, you could argue, oh, well, it's salvage, so it's not as good as, like, searching your deck. But, I mean, there's so many mill effects in this set that I think that it justifies the salvage ability.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good. Tonomatsu got a lot of good cards, apparently.
Yeah, even though he's like I don't like him, but
He used to be my least favorite, but Ichimatsu is now my least favorite. He's kind of bitchy in a good way, but he has a lot of unlikable things. I like to see him get hurt.
I just don't like how he was so cold to Osomatsu. When he when he didn't he pretended
you're
like he
not
didn't
gonna
know.
like the next episode then if you don't like Tati being a cunt.
Anyways, moving onwards, we'll go to Sweet Stanchi Ichimatsu, 0/4K rare. When this is placed from hand to stage, put the top 2 cards of your library in your waiting room. If there was a climax, then rest this card.
Man, 4Ks are uninteresting to me.
It has the mill ability. That's always nice.
Yeah, but I just never think that 4Ks are good when people can just put a reverser into it and just destroy it.
Yeah.
And it's not. I don't think it's worth the risk.
There are other sets that have this ability, like my girlfriend Beta. It's you mill 2, but it has 3,500 attack, but it has hand on core as well. I think if this had that profile, it'd be much better.
I think there's one last 4K in the set for brothers that I think puts itself into stock when it hits a climax, but I could be imagining that.
We'll see.
We'll see, but I think that almost getting the stock is better than having the card be rested.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I just won't run a 4K at all. I don't think this card deserves the rare slot, but I don't know what balancing is, so...
Next, we're going to F6 Ichimatsu, rare, 1/1, 4,500 power. It's all your characters in front of this with Matsu name gain X power, so it's a level assist in front for level 1. And then rest is choose one of your characters' Matsu name, and that character gains 1k power for the turn.
I honestly think I'd rather run the global 2/1 level assist instead of this one.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's global.
Plus, you already have other good cards at level your in your back row that you're already probably playing at level 0. The Brainstormer and the Global 500.
Yeah, it's almost
That
like what's the
searches.
point of having a level assist at level 1 anyway? It's just going to be a global 5. It's not even a global 5, it's just a 5 in front. Wow, I don't like this card at all now that I think about it.
Yeah, if you're gonna play this card at level 1, at most your cards are gonna be they're only gonna gain a 500 boost in front. Unless you play that early play level 2 that comes out at level 1, but even then it's like I just wouldn't run this card. I mean, this card is
Yeah, I don't like it.
this effect is like there's nothing really bad about this card. It's just that like you just have better options pretty much.
Yeah, I prefer the 2-1 just because I think it's more relevant to the time it comes out.
Next we have daddy. F6 Jushimatsu.
Ew, he's ugly in F6. Ew.
1/1, 5500 power, rare. If the cost of the character opposite this is 0 or lower, this does not reverse. So this prevents your level 1 reversers from killing you. Yay.
And anything, honestly, that costs 0.
Oh yeah, you're right.
It
This-
literally can't be killed by anything that doesn't cost 1 or more.
Yep.
I mean, it's.
I mean,
this
you
is
mean 0?
probably one of the bigger.
It can't be killed anything that costs 0 or lower. Yeah.
Well, what I meant was it can be killed by things that cost. Like what I said was it can't be killed by anything that isn't cost 1 or more. I think that's what I said, but like as in it costs. I know what I'm saying. I'm not saying it properly, but I feel like this one's a super big preference card because it's like you can run this, and then I mean basically it's invincible against certain decks. Like some decks just do not run 1/1s.
Yep.
At all.
Yep.
So I think it's a big preference choice. It's probably one of the better ones you can run, but it does cost 1 and it's only 55. There is a card that gives it 1,000, but I don't know if it's worth running both.
Oh yeah, it's a bond effect, right?
Yeah.
I've never seen this type of effect before from my
I
experience.
think it's in Skullgirl Strikers.
It's a very. I feel like there are some decks like you said that are gonna have cost ones, but I feel like in terms of like how the game is right now, or it's mostly a costless level 1 game. I feel like for like searchers in general and stuff like that, I feel like this card's pretty good.
I think it's a really good card. I may run it in my brother's build, but it really depends on what I'm going against in my locals, I think.
Oh wow, you can see his nipple.
Oh my god, Beanley.
Anyways, moving onward, we're going to F6 Totematsu, 2/1, 2500 power, 6-tuplet smartphone. It has the 2500 backup, and then it also has the effect where when you use the backup, choose one of your characters in battle with Matsu name, and that character gains 1k power for it. Also, it's not splittable. It's just a 2/1, 3500 backup, essentially, for your brother's deck.
What? How is that not splittable, Beanley? Read that again.
It choose one of your characters in battle.
Oh, in battle?
Yeah.
What the fuck? What?
Yep.
Wow. Well, I mean, it's not terrible, but I don't think it's worth running, honestly.
Yeah. I mean,
that kind of card coming out at level 1 is, like, marginally worse. And it's just a 35... Like,
at level
if you
2,
really
yeah.
think about it, it's just 100... Since it's not splittable, it's just 500 power over vanilla for a 2/1 vanilla backup.
Yep.
Wow, some of these rares are really jank.
And plus, I'd rather run the I guess it's preference if you want to choose either this or that event.
I'd rather
The Matsu, the 3. It's a 3K, right? The 1/1 3K. 35. Yep. I mean,
I'd rather have it at level 1 if it's not going to be splittable. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, yeah, it's not a character, but I don't know. I like the event more.
Next, we're going to Sweet Dreams Jushimatsu. Sweet Stanchi Jushimatsu 3/2 9K rare.
What kind of freaking Freudian slip was that, Beanley?
What?
Thinking something else.
2 soul. If your opponent has a level 3 or higher character, this gets 1 level while on hand. If you have 2 or more other characters Matsu name, this gains 2k power, and your characters are also considered to have Jushimatsu as the name. At the start of your opponent's encore step, if there are 6 or more cards in your clock, you rest this, return all your cards in your clock to library, and shuffle your library. It has
So
really good effects.
When you pull this off, if you're fighting against someone who really gets pissy at the game, they'll get fucking so angry at you. It'll be hilarious.
I like this card.
I think the card's good, especially since it's an early drop. Like, if this was just, like, you have to get lucky and hit 3/6, it would be, like, a little worse. But, I mean, I think that since it comes out at level 2...
You could do this at 2/6.
Yeah, potentially you could just pop this in the back. Like, I think as a one-of, this card is really strong because you can just search for it no matter what.
Mm.
Like, just be careful, watch your stock and stuff.
Or salvage it.
Yeah, it's salvage or search it. Fucking play that shit level 3 in the backstage. Win. No. Get lucky and you'll literally just survive for quite a while.
Even, like... And also, if you hit 2/6 or 3/6, like, it doesn't matter if this card gets reversed. You get essentially a free encore, and you heal your clock.
It does. If it dies, it ends up coming back. Is that really how it works?
Yeah, it's at the start of your opponent. Yep, it's at the start of your opponent's. Well, you'd have to use. It would get the free encore on your opponent's encore step. You can't do this obviously. At
Yeah.
At your encore step.
Okay, well, it's nice to know that it can res itself and do it, but I think it's also safest in the back row because I wouldn't run more than one. It's just kind of contradictory because it gets so much power, but besides that, I think the card's good. I think it's really good.
Yep. If anything, it'll just be an early play 11k.
Yeah.
Next, we're going to Hidden Kindness, Ichimatsu, 0/0, uncommon, 500 power. All your other F6 Jushimatsu gets 1k power, and it has the clock bod for the Jushimatsu F6. So that's the card that we were talking about earlier that can't be reversed by cost 0 or lower.
Maybe I would run this as a one-of if I decide to run the Jushimatsu. Because it can be searched out.
Yeah. If only the Jushimatsu was a 1/0.
Yeah, but I mean, its ability is so powerful that it kind of
it's a really good ability.
Out like that. Oh yeah, if that card was 1/0, that'd be such a guarantee in the deck.
Yep.
I feel.
I mean, maybe you would have to have weaker power. But
yeah, definitely.
But
I mean, it doesn't matter because you just swing into shit that's cost 0 anyway. Like every turn, like it doesn't matter. It's such an interesting card. I really like it.
Next, we're going to Festival Guide Jushimatsu, 0/2k, uncommon. At the start of your opponent's attack phase, you may move this to an empty slot in the front row. So it's a free runner.
And it's like super perfect for Jushimatsu to be the runner. It's good. I like it.
Yep.
Run it in your sextuplets deck.
If you can run, then you're saving one of your characters for another attacker. It's a good... Of course, you don't get the milling ability, but you still get the runner ability, at least.
Yeah.
Moving onwards, we're going to Tragedies Heirin, Todomatsu, 1/0, 3500 power, and it's just a standard level 1 reverser.
Yeah.
I guess you could... This has some room for the brothers build. Like, I can see people like putting like 2 or 3 of these, because level 1 reversers are always nice to have.
Yeah, some people like level 1 reversers quite a bit. I'm kind of neutral on them. The only level 1 reverser I've ever run in a deck is the Kamaru from Monogatari, and that's because it comes back to hand on occasion. I
just wish like it had another effect though, because you get things like Nisakoi, where it's a level 1 reverser if there's a pendant in your memory, but it also on play you have to reveal the top card of your library and you handpicks if it's a key character.
That's pretty good for a level 1 reverser.
Yeah, I just wish it had something else instead of just being a level 1 reverser.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of bland, but I mean, at least they got a level 1 reverser. Some people really liked them.
Yep. Next is Festival Guide Todomatsu, 1/1, 5500 power, uncommon, 1 soul. If you have another character Matsu name, this gains 1500 power and it has hand encore, so it's pretty much going to be a 7k with hand encore.
Yeah, I think this one is probably one of the more solid 1/1s because it actually gets pretty big. Besides maybe that Choromatsu card that I'm starting to think is pretty interesting, this one is it's only 500 power less than the Mioe and Monogatari that gets like 15 if you have 2 experience. So, and Hand Encore is not bad. So, but even though I'm not a fan of Hand Encore compared to Clock Encore, it's still pretty good.
Yeah.
All these festival cards are like,
meh.
They're all like 1/1, like
Yeah.
random pick if you want this card or not.
Next we have his Warm Family Jushimatsu 2/1s, 6500 power, 1 soul. If you have another character of either Ichimatsu or Jushimatsu in name, this gains 3k power. So it's going to be a 2/1 9500 power potentially.
It's
just another
boring.
option for a beater.
I don't like it. It's not terrible.
I wish it was like Matsu or something instead, because then you would have a guaranteed back, like your back row would be a guaranteed. Well, obviously it'd be too powerful because you get a really easy condition of having a 9500 power beater.
Yeah, that card is it's just like a flavor card for the episode.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's boring. I don't know.
Yeah. Because he finds the cat or whatever.
Yeah.
Next is Festival Guy Ichimatsu 2/1 7500 power, 1 soul, uncommon. When this becomes reversed, if the level of the battle opponent of this is higher than the level of your opponent, you may reverse that character. Oh, so it's a
yeah, it's their anti-change pretty much.
Yep. This is interesting.
I think it's good. I probably as a one-off if anything. It's almost, I don't know, I'd rather have the backup, but obviously you can't play the battalion backup in the Brothers deck, so.
There are cards from Cinderella Girls 2 where it's like, it has this profile, but it sends it to stock. So I think I like this ability where it just straight up reverses it.
Yeah, I agree.
I think this is it's a pretty powerful card in like today's game state. But it's definitely, I think, at least a one-off. I feel like if you're running Brothers, then you at least should put one of this.
Yeah, me too.
Next is Hidden Side Jushimatsu, 00 1500 power. Rest is choose one of your character's Matsu name, and that character gains 1k power. And it's a spammable brainstorm. And for each climax, you choose a character in your waiting room and you discard a card.
I'd run it as a one-off probably in my Brothers deck.
Yeah.
Just to get the spammable brainstormer in there.
I
but
mean,
some people want to run that. I don't know. I feel like you don't have to run this because the Choromatsu can go off so often. But it's definitely something to consider, I think. It's really good for an uncommon.
You could run this in your yellow deck as well, but like with all the synergy that yellow's going, it's not really worth running. I mean, if you really wanted a spammable brainstormer, because this is pretty much a spammable brainstormer, but I don't see this being run in yellow though. I feel like it would just hurt the consistency that yellow has going.
Yellow already relies so much on the color. I mean, it's a possibility, but I wouldn't have thought of doing it.
Yep. Anyways, moving on. Calling names Ichimatsu. That artwork, 002K. When it's just a level 0 reverser.
Yeah, it's nice that they got a second reverser.
It's 2k power. It's interesting. It's like Kanji from Persona. It's 2k power. Next we're going to Esper Nyanko, 002K, annual ESP trait. Discard a climax from your hand to the waiting room when it's placed from hand to stage. When it's placed from stage to the waiting room, my bad. You may pay cost. If so, choose up to one character in your waiting room with Ichimatsu in name and return it to your hand. I don't like how it specifically has to be Ichimatsu, like it's flavor, but
yeah, it's like, I mean, this card's, who cares? I mean, you have the Tati.
Exactly.
Tati's just
you
better.
just put this in your husbando Ichimatsu deck.
Yeah, if you like fucking trash.
Even then,
Oh,
you can't technically put this into your Husbando Ichimatsu deck because it's not Ichimatsu.
yeah. Well, you can have like sometimes there's like a rule where you can have like 4 cards that are off waifu.
I guess.
Oh, this next card is like the ultimate flavor of the card. It's so cute.
Cafe Staff Todomatsu, 2500 power. If you have no other characters, this gains 2k power, matchmaking party trait, and is also considered to have Tati as the name.
Once you see this episode, you'll get it. It's the next episode that you're gonna be seeing. But basically, he lies to try to get into this mixer, and all the girls at his work call him Tati. So that's why he gets that trait, and he has that name. And besides that, the card is pretty good for like a level 1 play. But I don't know if
You mean level 0 play?
Or turn 1 play is what I meant to say.
I mean, I guess, but it still dies through reversers. I wish it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't get like a level or anything, so it doesn't have a lot of defense to it. I think it's cute though that it gets these traits and names though.
Yep. Next card is just a 003k vanilla. It's Todoko. No traits.
Fucking hate girl names.
Calling names Jushimatsu, 004k power. When it's placed from hand to stage, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a level 0 or lower character, put this in your stock.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about.
I feel like there's nothing really bad with this, because like even if it gets sent to stock, like you get a free stock.
Yeah, that's why I said I think this is probably the best 4K, and it's a common. I mean, the ones are rare.
Yep. that face. Anyways, Kadematsu's Perfect Fashion. 1-0, 4500 power. No, not Kadematsu, Ichimatsu.
Well, it is. It's Ichimatsu. It's Karamatsu's Perfect Fashion Ichimatsu. Because there's an episode where they switch outfits.
Technically it could be a Kadematsu and a Kadematsu husbando build. But
yeah, it could technically. Same with the Karamatsu card earlier. He was dressed as Ichimatsu.
Yep. If you have another Kadematsu's Perfect Fashion Ichimatsu, this gains 2k power. Oh, so it's I guess these next cards are going to share the same cards
yeah, here comes the trash.
As the wasted slot. Drymatsu Todomatsu. Tear spilling Jushimatsu. Oh.
Yeah, wait till you see that fucking episode, Beanley.
Oh, I don't even want to know what happens.
The happiest character in the anime fucking sobs.
Drive Date Matsuno Brothers. 1-0, 4500 power, 6 tuplets trait. You have 2 more other characters Matsu name. This gains 1k power. When the battle point of this becomes reversed, if Flag Corporation is in your climax zone, you may choose a character in your way room and return it to your hand.
And yes, the climax card is them about to take flags up the ass from Hantobo.
What's the trigger for the climax? Do you know?
It's 2 soul, I believe. Everything is like 2 soul.
It's a plus combo, but
yeah, it's a stock soul 2 soul trigger. It's like, why not just like? I feel like I really want to get the Jushimatsu combo in for the salvage trigger. I feel like if you're gonna run one or the other, I think the Jushimatsu is probably better.
Yep. And it's just like you have to make sure you're level 1 before your opponent, because the 2 soul, like for a plussing combo like this.
At least the freaking Jushi one is a 1k1. So you're gonna reverse, and you don't even need to reverse to get your search. So it's just, I think it's much better.
Yep. Moving onwards. Female Matsu-san Ichiko. 1-0 vanilla, 5500 power. Not being honest, Ichimatsu. 2-2. 2 soul, 6500 power. If you have another character of either Matsu and Esperanyanko in name, this gains 3k power. And when the battle of opponent of this becomes reversed, if True Feeling is in your climax zone, you may deal 1 damage to your opponent.
It's a 2-2. But you have to. It's like, I don't know.
I mean,
I
it's,
don't like 2/2s that much. Like, I don't think it's worth it to run the climax combo.
what's the
for it.
what's the climax trigger
It's
for this?
salvage trigger.
I remember when this card was first spoiled and we were talking about it, like how it's like a worse version of Mikasa from Attack on Titan, because that card can come out at level 1.
Yeah, and this one doesn't get anywhere near as big.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, the Mikasa can be bigger as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that card. I mean, it's preference, I guess, but I wouldn't run it.
Yeah, there's just
Personally.
better options.
Yeah.
Calling names Totematsu 2/2 6500 2 soul. It has if you have 2 more other characters Matsu, it gains 3k power, and it has hand on core.
Yeah, it's nothing special.
Female Matsu-san Yoshiko 229k vanilla. What the heck?
She's Gyaru, dude. She's got the gal trait. She has gal.
She's the
Gal
only one.
confirmed. Fucking put that shit in.
It's not really gal trait because it doesn't have like the white outline of the eyeshadow though, does it? And I don't know, maybe it's just a screenshot, but I don't know if this is like a racist card.
No, she's a Gyaru.
Okay, so I just woke up and from midstream, and I would go to look at the card you guys looking at. What is this?
Yoshimatsu's female version.
It looks like Enrique if you put on a wig.
And fucking colored contacts.
Big lips. Oh man.
Anyways.
Just look at the guy in the back.
That's Karamatsu's gender bend.
Like,
That's a girl.
oh my god.
Next,
That's Karako.
next we're going to 1-0 Tati event. Choose a character in your waiting room with Matsu in name. Return it to your hand. Discard a card from your hand to the waiting room. Choose one of your characters, and that character gets 3k power for the turn. And
It's like a worse version of the Karamatsu event.
yeah, don't run this card.
You run this
Unless you want to
platform.
throw the face at them.
You run
I
this
mean, the only difference is that it's free. It's like if you really want to discard a card, I guess. You can neg a climax out of your hand with it.
I guess, but
I don't know. I don't like it. Also, this next card has probably one of the longest names on a fucking Weiss card ever.
Ichimatsu-sama, please cool these overheating boy-like bodies of ours. Choose up to 2. It's a 2-1 event. Choose up to 2 characters in your waiting room and return them to your hand. Discard a card from your hand to the waiting room. And
We're
that's
going 4 and type like 1 to buy for Ichimatsu-san. Please cool these over. Just people say.
oh god, this would suck if you go to like your regionals or whatever and you have to like write your deck list. Oh my god.
You have to write all of these things. God.
I'm
ready at 4.
Next we have is my daddy making this face. 2-3 new gag event with the counter step. If you have 5 or more characters with Matsu in name, choose one of your opponent's characters and rest it. So I like this. I like this effect.
They actually, fun fact, when I first looked at Heart of the Cards, they actually had mistranslated this to say if you have 4 or more. But then I got excited, I looked at the kanji and I was like, no, that's not what it is. It's 5.
But it's so good.
Well, it's still fine. I mean, it's not...
Okay.
It prevents your opponent from getting a stock or like potentially an on reverse effect.
I mean, all you do is if you have this card in hand and you know you're going to need to use it next turn, don't kill your characters. It's easy as that.
Yeah, but at that point you're not really getting anywhere, because that means you have to side with the character if you have to forcibly keep your characters alive. So you're
I don't know, they have
not
so
doing
many
enough
fucking
damage.
stock. They have so many
Yeah.
stock souls in fucking Osomatsu, it doesn't fucking matter, honestly. You can side attack all game, it doesn't fucking matter.
You're not really getting anywhere along.
If this is so, is this more like a 2 or 3? Because I know with money counters or like with compass, you would want to run 3 copies.
I think I'd run 2. If it was 4 or more, I'd probably run 3, but if
I'd
it's
say
5 or more, 2.
Because it rests on another character. If it was just like an immediate like Darkest Plan or something, or like Ricky, money counter, whatever it is.
But this is
I'd
better
agree
though
with that.
because you prevent your opponent from getting 1 stock.
Yeah, they don't get stock or an attack.
Yeah, but that character that's still attacking still gets in it. I mean, it's...
Oh yeah, but you want to use this on a card that like
Like, yeah,
Has
my
an
card
attack.
can still die. Wait, can my card even die? If I use this card against
Yeah.
it?
Your
Yeah,
card is
because
still
it's already declared. It's already.
You can't choose a character that's attacking. You have to choose
Oh,
one
yeah,
of the
yeah,
other
yeah.
characters.
Yeah, there'd be no point in choosing the character that's attacking.
Like, yeah, they can attack with their good card first, and that's kind of crappy, but I mean...
Like you would want to use this card on Akagi that has an attack jet, or like a Musashi.
That's like the only reason the other anti-damage are still better.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah,
I mean,
not every
anti-damage
set
can't
can
deny
get- yeah.
clock kick. This card can actually deny clock kick.
I'd still rather have another one. I would not want to have this.
Well, you're not playing the set, so I guess you don't have to bother with it.
Anyways, we have all the climaxes, and we'll go into the promos. Wait, so I mean the booster box promos. Are they just vanillas? No, they're not. Okay. SD Osomatsu 1/1 6K 1 soul. If you have another character Matsu name, this gains 1500 power for the turn.
No, forever.
Oh, it gains 1500 power forever. My bad.
Yeah, don't underestimate the oldest son, Beanley.
It's alright. I'd rather run the other card though that gets 2k power.
Yeah, me too. Especially since it's the same exact cost, pretty much.
What does SD stands for?
I don't know. Super deformed, I think.
SD Karamatsu 105k.
I called these fucking chibis. These exact chibis would be the fucking promos too. It's always the chibis.
When this is placed from hand to stage, if you have another character with Matsu name, this gains 2k power for the turn. So it's a assassin, a level 1 assassin.
Meh.
Meh. It's alright.
Yeah.
SD Chodamatsu 121 2500 power, and it's just a 3k backup.
Yeah. So Ichimatsu is just a level 1 standard vanilla backup as well.
Yeah, you wouldn't run this. You'd rather run the other card, the either the event or the level 2 one that gives 3500 power.
Yeah.
Next is SD Ichimatsu 1500 power, and it's just a standard 1500 power backup, a costless backup. I guess since the brothers build doesn't have a costless backup, you could technically splash this.
Yeah, maybe it's like a one-off if you really want the costless backup.
Yeah. SD Jushimatsu 228k 2 soul. If all your other characters Matsu in name, this gains 2k power. So it's pretty much a standard 2/2 10k 2 soul with no downside. Where where you don't have to discard a card. Or discard a character card. You just rather run other cards.
Honestly, most of these promos are pretty
Yeah, for the booster at least. SD Todamatsu 2500 power. If you have one or a few other characters, this gains 1k power and hand on court. This is not bad.
I wish that it got a level instead of hand on court. That would actually
definitely
be playable in the deck, which kind of sucks.
This is the same profile as wait, no, never mind. I was gonna say Shinjigahara, but no, Shinjigahara has to be by herself.
Yeah.
SD Genesis Husbando 003500 power. When your opponent levels up, put this in waiting room. So it has the Katana Gatari profile. That level 0 yellow.
Yeah, I'm used to playing it. It's pretty bad. But I mean, do you think I give a fuck in my Iyami Chibita deck? No, I
don't. Next is the 3/6 Exodia event. You can only have up to one copy of cards with the same name as this in your deck. Review your hand. If all the Sweets Danshi card is in your hand, you won the game. And note, this card cannot be used in official tournaments. So you can
only be used in store tournaments.
No, because those are official tourneys.
I know, I'm fucking kidding, I know.
So casual.
People who are making Exodia deck builds are... I mean, go ahead and have your fun, but I mean, I just think it's a waste of time because you're not going to be able to play it.
That's sad.
This card's so funny. I feel like, I mean, you can only run one in your deck. Does it really need to be banned?
Yeah.
Yeah. You could literally just,
when
Oh
you,
yeah, there's so much search on Osomatsu. It's not even
Yeah,
funny.
it's not even.
Yeah, but I might top stock this event and then never get it back. No, I'm kidding. It's stupid. It's played. It's a Wooser fucking card.
Next, we're going to the promos.
The only promos you need to look at are Nurse Totoko and Totoko UI because the lovely neats are just 003s.
Wait, so what are these promos for?
I don't know where you get these promos. I only know about the Totoko one and I only know about Nurse Totoko, which you get from some special event, and the paying 2,000 yen and shops promo of beating the 1-1. The only playable promo is the 1-1 Totoko.
Yep.
But
Well,
we can
Nurse
go over the
Totoko
Nurse Totoko as well.
is a 2-1, 7,500 power, and then for each of your other yellow character, this gains 500 power. So it's a beater, a level 2 beater.
Yeah.
It's gonna be 9,500 power without including assist. I mean, at that point, I'd rather just run the early play, Iyami, or the Nia-chan instead.
Yeah. Same. It's cute though. I'd like a copy of it for
Yep.
my collection.
Next is Totoko Yoi, 1-1, 6k. If you have 3 or more other yellow characters, this gains 1,500 power and cannot be reversed by effects of auto abilities of your opponent's characters. So it's pretty much, it can be level 1 reverse. Like, level 1 reversers won't work against this card.
It's pretty solid.
Yep.
I mean, it's not a 175 or 1175 clock encore, but it's pretty hard to reverse. Like, especially on your turn, it'll be like an 85 because of your globals.
Mm-hmm. So, what are your overall thoughts of this set?
pretty bad.
Okay, Enrique.
I mean, it's average. Nothing great, nothing bad.
I'd say it's good, nothing great, nothing bad. I don't think average is the right term.
Wait, did you say
Okay.
it's good, there's nothing good, nothing bad? Nothing great, nothing... Oh, you said nothing great, nothing bad.
I mean, okay, how about, I think
It's a
yellow
playable
is,
set.
I think yellow is really good. I think yellow is really good.
Yeah, also makes it average.
Like, I think the set does what it's supposed to do, which is embody the silliness of the set in one big silly thingy. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, I'm not very articulate about this, but I mean, I still think it's funny that the needs suck compared to the side characters. I think that's underground meta flavor. I like it. I'm glad that a lot of people do like this show. Yeah, okay, fuck boys in America be like, oh, this is so stupid, blah, blah, and then some people are like, oh, I'm not gonna watch this, and they watch it and they fucking giggle, and it's like, well, fuck you, you laughed at it. It's
Okay.
funny, it's good fun. It's not gay. It has no fucking yaoi stuff in it whatsoever, except for the F6 shit, and you might as well rip that shit anyway because it sucks.
They get
It's good.
injected by the flag.
It's good. It's a good comedy show. And I wasn't really expecting it to be some big ass meta shit anyway. I just see that it's a good piece of first of all it's been around forever, so it's a good piece of anime history.
To be
And
honest, it wouldn't feel right to see this type of set as the meta set. I feel like this set focused so much on flavor, for the Brothers build at least.
Yeah, and there are some really flavor cards, but it's just good fun, I think. That's what I think Osomatsu should be.
I mean,
I'm gonna have fun playing it. I feel like if you pilot the deck well, you can win, but I mean, you have so many limitations in Weiss where it's if you get pitted against something that's obviously just better, you're gonna lose unless you play really well and get lucky. That's the game. Honestly, power gap is a factor, yeah. But I mean, I feel like this deck isn't it's not fucking Katana Gatari, it's not fucking Haruhi, it's still gonna win. It's just not gonna win as frequently as TLR.
I think the note is that I think the best build is yellow, and funnily enough, the yellow build is the budget build. Seems to be the budget build compared to the Brothers build.
I feel like the Brothers build's cheap too, but I don't know.
The Brothers build has the Katsuki is at 1280.
Yeah, but I mean, is that really that expensive?
It's the most expensive double R out of all of them.
Most sets usually have a fucking $25 double R, and this is okay. There's a
overall the set's pretty cheap.
Yeah, it's very cheap.
Like,
It's probably
even
one
the
of the cheapest sets that
SPs.
come out in a while.
Yeah, even the SPs are pretty cheap, and according to what, like you said, there's like only 2 SPs per case.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's what it is from what I've seen.
That's
Which is
brutal.
really weird. It should have been 3, but I don't understand.
The most expensive SPs is the Kadomatsu Akatsuki SP, which is 39.80
Yeah,
yen.
I figured as soon as I saw it, that's what it would be. Ichimatsu's obviously the worst one, so he's cheapest. Oso and Jushi are kind of like on the same playing field. And then obviously Choro's second best because he's Brainstormer. And Tati with his massive damage swing of death is like about $23. They're fucking cheap as hell.
If anything,
But they sold out in one night. So.
The yellow build is so easy to play. Like, the 1-0 Nyachan is, like, literally cancer. Like I said,
Actually,
it's the fact is if you're breathing and you play the climax, you get a freaking Akatsuki/Minami effect.
Yeah, you're right though.
How would you guys say, like, where would you rate this on, like, the meta scale from tier C, like level, like tier C to like tier S?
I mean, you won't see it in tournaments.
It's like tier Evangelion.
Like, you won't see it.
No, this set has
it's not
Brainstormers.
I don't get why everyone wants to fucking give this set so much flack when it's got really good fucking stuff in it. Yeah, like, it's missing some components. If this set ever got, like, an extra booster or some sort of power-up, it would probably get some tools that would make it really good. It's got the pieces of the puzzle, but I feel like the pieces are like, kind of, like, drifting apart. Like, they're like, pretty far apart.
I think this set would be like a B plus, if anything.
Yeah, I'd say B. Like, they got some good finishers, but they only really have one good finisher per build.
Mm.
So that's kind of a downside, but I mean, I'm gonna have fun playing it. I already fucking spent a shit ton of money on it, and it's like, I don't even have it yet. So,
Yeah.
I mean, all in all, this game is about playing the sets that you like and the shows that you enjoy. So, I think that the people who like the show are gonna have a lot of fun playing the set. It's definitely not bad. It's just not, like, super meta, super good.
If
So,
only
I feel like it can win, though.
If only you could run the level 3 Tati and the level 3 Totoko together. That'd be so good.
Yeah, but they'd also both level 3 climax.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If one of them didn't have a climax combo, that'd be so good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I at least like how this set, like, the brothers build, like, there obviously needs to be some thinking. Like, it's not linear, straightforward, like Yellow, where it's like, okay, you run this climax combo. Like, it's made so, like, whatever your playstyle is, you at least, like, have some type of deck for the brothers build.
Yeah, I really do like that about it, honestly.
Like, it's
there
one
are
of
a lot
those
of cards
quirky.
that are similar, but different. And
It's a quirky set.
I think that's funny because they're identical and the cards are similar, very similar, like their looks, but they have very different personalities.
Like, who knows? If anything, like, maybe in a year or two, it'll get, like, the Monogatari series second season treatment.
Yeah,
where it connects all the pieces.
To be honest, the only episode that has any screenshots from anything past season 2 in this set is the Iyami and his fucking Iyami race fucking episode. That is the only card, from my knowledge, that I'm looking at right now on this list of cards that is from the second season.
So, yeah, it's possible.
That leads me to believe that I'm not gonna say, oh, well, Osomatsu's guaranteed to get, like, a second set or, like, some sort of power set or something. But, I mean, it's a very popular series in Japan, to my knowledge. And, I feel like it's very possible that it could get some extra support in the future, especially if Osomatsu gets, like, a continuation, which I'm not really sure it will, but if it does, I'm not going to complain if they start putting out more Osomatsu cards. Overall, I think I'm just going to have a lot of fun with this set. I'm sure everyone else who plays it, who enjoys the show, will also be the same way. Pro tip though, next time please do not aim your set at beginners because it just makes you limited.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. This whole set, like, it's. Well, I'm gonna say.
It tries to appeal to both the competitive and the beginner audience, and it slows itself down because of that.
Yep. This set is like. It has some power. Like, you notice, like, from what we were reading, like, it has some effects that are, like, power creep in the sense, like, it was, like, a level earlier. Like, it's much easier to get this effect off. But it's not, like, overly power creep. It's, like, where it's, like, Yami. Where it's, like,
yeah,
it breaks the meta.
I'm sure that if that Totoko came out and it was literally a copy of Yami, except, like, it gave Musashi effect, people would fucking flip.
Yep.
But
Or if it had,
that's
like,
totally unbalanced.
or if it gave them hexproof as well.
Yeah, people would be like, oh, shit, fucking so bad. Oh my god, it's too good.
Yep.
Blah, blah. Like, it didn't get that push to make it super unfair.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like it's good, but fair. Like, but not, like, incredible.
Yep. That's how the game rolls. Like, with new sets release, like how we have like that whatever that Renge, whatever it's called, Rene, the Rene set. Yeah, Rene set coming out. Like, it's just a very fair. This set is pretty fair. That's all I'm gonna say. It's pretty fair.
Yeah, there's nothing super unfair about it.
With that being said, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to Waifu Wars.